Main phase.
Good evening and welcome to the third of my Jewel or Junk July streams. Now this one is a special stream because this is Cow Appreciation Day, and Cow Appreciation Day is a real day. When Cow mentioned it in the chat, I thought they were joking, but I looked it up, and yes, today, the 13th of July 2021, is official Cow Appreciation Day. So every game I play today is hopefully going to have a cow in it somewhere. Now, I've got a little bit of list of games that people have suggested, ones that we know about, ones we played on stream before, with cows. One or two of the suggestions I've not been able to find the cows in, so we might have to be a bit of cow spotting and see if we can find them. Some of the cows will be just brief cameos, you know, the little cameos, little appearances, somewhere at the roadside, so keep eagle eye out for them. But hey, I hope everybody's doing well, and I see we've got plenty of people in the chat already, including Cow. So welcome, Cow, first of all, because this is Cow Appreciation Day, and our resident cow is here. Now, David was first in the chat with a moo, and Thomas was here with a moo too, and Cow wishing us a merry Cow Appreciation Day. We've also got Bob Loblaw in the chat, who's been doing quite a bit of work in MAME lately on fixing up NES mappers. Cow suggests we rename MAME to Moo Me. That's probably not happening, because I think the Arcade 1-Up emulator is actually called Moo. Who else we got? Scrolling down, we've got Stephen, who's been doing a bit of main work too, adding a few things to the software lists. We've also got, scroll down, got the fellow Jasper, who's another regular, so welcome to you. We've got Main Fan, one of the big supporters of the stream, so welcome to you too. And we've got Reminisce, who's Milky Yummy, and yes, I do have the bars of milk that were pictured. There we go. You see, there's some milk with the cow on it. So you know you want your cow. This is bubbly milk. I've never tried that one before, so we'll see. I picked that up the other day. What else we got going on in the chat? We've got R09, welcome R09. We've got Mo Burma, welcome up Mo Burma. We've got Johnny AFC, welcome Johnny AFC, with your little cow emote there. An Aussie guy, and Big Winner, and Wolfaz, Tilanus, and I think that is everybody who said hi in the chat. So if I've missed anybody, I apologise. But yes, we do need to be getting on with the games, don't we? So you hate moonings. Moo Mesa is in the chat in the list today. R09. Right, let's turn the volume back up. Now the first game I'm going to do is Overdrive again. We looked at this the other week. Now this requires a special main build to run, which is why the filters aren't enabled on it. You would have to find the special branch of main with this game playable, because if you don't use the special branch, it's a bit of a mess. But in the special branch it works, and say Kale sent me this binary, so that's what we're using. Plenty more cows from Stephen there, and yes, feel free to spam the little cow emoji whenever you want, or whenever you see a cow. In fact, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? If you see a cow, make it be known. So yes, let's go then. What did I have the control set up to this? I don't know. Yes, cow. That is your emoji, cow. Right, so let's go into high gear. Now, if you play this in a regular version of MAME, you do end up with a swarm of cows, which is not good for the cows because it's very difficult to avoid them. But in this version of MAME, they behave and they stay at the side of the road. So as long as I stay on the road, and my ability to do that somewhat lacking, then the cows will be fine. There we go, we've got a train to chase here. No cows yet. The cows are yet to come. But yeah, the frame rate in this game is a little bit ropey, but that's just how it is. But the game itself, I think, is a lot of fun. So I do look forward to the day that this is playable in a regular version of MAME without having to, you know, go out of my way to use this modified version. The cows. See, you can hear them moving. Hope you can hear them moving, because they definitely moved a little bit. Yeah, this version of MAME doesn't work with the script either, so it will say nothing in the bottom corner, unfortunately. So I'm having to use a different version of MAME, and it's quite old, and the Lua script doesn't work with it. So I wasn't going to customise the script just for this one game. But there we go. So those were our first cows of the stream. Well, not our first cows of the stream, because the first cow of the stream is Cow in the chat, our regular. But the first in-game cows of the stream were just on that previous stage. We need more cows. Well, again, a lot of this stream is going to be sort of cow spotting. Because there are a lot of racing games where there'll be some cows at the side of the road. And the challenge is to spot the cows. I'll be calling them out myself if I see them. I don't know if there are any more cows in this game, or if we're going to have to start the game again to see more cows, but I will happily do that. Oops. This Nothing game looks very cool. This is Konami's Overdrive, by the way, for anybody who thinks it's still called Nothing. But, yes. Evening Costado, were those cows always there? Well, if you play this in regular MAME, as I say, you end up with a swarm of cows. They just jump all over the track because, well, the lack of track, the screen. But if you play this in the special build, yeah, this was in one of the other streams. But a lot of the games we're going to play tonight have been in the other streams because you know, there's cows on the map too. Look, cows, cows, cows down there. Yeah, a lot of the games will have been on the other streams because that's kind of how we found out a lot of them have got cows in them. But a few of them we've covered and I couldn't find the cows in, and I've looked up how you get the cows. So, yeah. No, this isn't emulated correctly in a proper version, regular version of MAME. This requires a special version of MAME to run. Eventually the changes are probably merged in, but it's Livia Galibert's progress, so it's not up to me to get them merged in. I think the branch that they exist in does exist somewhere still, but if not, I might have to just see if I can get together a build that it runs and if people actually want to try it before then. Because this one is, say, it's a really old piece of code, which means things like the shaders don't work and, say, my script for the game name doesn't work. Because this Konami rewrite has been in progress for probably over 5 years now, maybe more. It's been a long time in the works, and this build is probably about 2 or 3 years old. So let's find those cows again. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this game, and while the frame rate in the actual game is rough, and the game just kind of feel like it's about to break any second. It is a lot of fun. It's a very playable game. It's just a shame that, you know, Konami didn't spend a little bit more time on tuning it and making it work. But, you know, all these effects going on with the cars, the smoke effects that really get in your face. The way you kind of slide across the track is addictive too. You've got this, always got this slight drift mechanic. Oops. Yes, let's say hi to the cows. There we go, you see. There is one of the many cows we are appreciating today. Now I need to carefully drive around the cow. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Didn't harm the cow, you see. But just took a little bit of time to have a look at the cows. And there's some sheep there too. Well, that's not a very nice thing to say to the cow, David. You can't call a cow flat. Yeah, it is a good sense of speed considering the actual frame rate's really low, yes. So we get to probably race this section again and have maybe one last look at these cows. Because I think, personally I think this is one of the better games I'm going to be looking at today. Which is why I put it on the list. Now I don't know how long this stream's going to be. It might be a 2 hour, it might be a 3 hour. The list of games is quite small, but some of the cows do take a bit of getting to. So we'll see. I mean, Mr. Phil Bennett did suggest a game with some cows in the background, and they appear on level 3, which means I've got to get to level 3 of that game. Oops. Yeah, if you think of any more games with cows in that I can easily get to show, like this one. See, I like this one. The cows are here. And I know Cool Riders has got cows somewhere, but I'm not even sure where, apart from the high score table. Yes. I do like the sound effects too. You've got a very mooey farmyard. Yes, there are plenty of cows in this one. So yeah. Do people think this one is a duel? Or so in this case we're going with a mule. Which is not a mule, but a mule, or a moonk, or is it just a bovine, as in just average? Jewel, does it have any home version? I don't believe there are any ports of this game, Wolfaz. It would have been an obvious one to port to the Saturn, if you ask me, but it's at the vertical screen. But I think that maybe that's one reason it doesn't, as far as I know, it's because it's a vertical game, and the home ports would have to be horizontal. Might lose a bit. You think it's utterly fantastic. You think it's a jewel. Okay, so we're getting mostly jewels here. And yeah, I think it's a jewel despite what seems to be some very rough programming of the game. But yeah, turbocharged cars are always fun. And the rotation on the dashboard there as well is kind of effective. Even if it looks a bit odd that your speedo rotates. But it's a nice effect that really gives you the impression you're sliding across the road. So, yeah, this one does get a jewel from me, which surprises me, because whenever I've watched videos of it, I thought it just looks a bit of a mess, but it's definitely addictive. As you can see by the fact I'm playing it again, and we're going to pass those cows again. This is the kind of over-the-top aesthetic that I think things like Super Chase were aiming for and didn't quite get, but Konami have got it right down to perfection here, I'd say. Bob says Jewel, a bit of over-the-top fun, yeah. Mo says Mule, and so cows got to witness a horrific crash there, but the cows themselves are fine. We'll drive past them slowly. They do sound a bit more like sheep than cows, but maybe the sheep are just louder. There you go. There is your view of some cows. Oh, the sheep got run over instead. Shall we game over? Shall we just park up by the cow? There we go. So we've parked up by the cow, and Stephen gives it some cows. Is Stephen giving it 2 cows, like the old download site? This is on its own hardware. It's 268Ks for the main game, which the communication between them is very ropey. And you've got the 6809 for sound, and 2151 for sound, and some custom Konami chips as well. Oh, and we've got 6 cows from Davitt. How now, black and white cow? Some of these cows will not be black and white. Oh, and before we continue, I should probably put this on the screen, because this is kind of important. You see, just keep this in mind. So there you go. Just want you to take that all in and make sure that you understand I am trying my best here not to harm any cows. But in certain cases, I'm not going to be given the choice. There's going to be games where I have to shoot the cows. And the upcoming game may well be one of the games where I have to shoot the cow. Just putting it out there, because I'm not really proud of having to shoot cows, but There we go. So let's go with this view, and we're going to put Overdrive by Konami on the dual list. So that is our first entry. Oh, you're getting lots of them. Yep, that's a lot of different kinds of cows and bulls there, Tilanus. But, yes, there we go. For our first duel, we have Overdrive. And that is the first game of the stream, too. You can see the thing on them. These pens go through the paper. Right. So. Let's change back to my normal thing. And now the... Now the game name thing should work. There we go. This is Deathsmiles, a cave game from 2007. And in this game, dual but barely. Oh, you're not that sold on it, big winner. Yes, that was a cow-tastic game, Stephen. Right, this does contain a cow. I believe the cow is called Mary. And yes, cow. This is one of the games where, unfortunately, I will be having to shoot at the cow. So we do appreciate the cow playing a role. And the cow is not actually harmed because, you know, if I insert another credit and play the game again, the cow is still there, completely unscathed. Deathsmiles doesn't sound like a game with a cow in it. Well, there might be a cow in it. There's a surprising number of shooters with cows in, actually. At least little cameo appearances, or say cameo appearances. And we will be looking at those. Even if, you know, there's just some cows grazing in a field, we will be taking a look. But, obviously, this is considered one of Cave's easier games. It's a horizontal one when many of the Cave ones are vertical. And it's not quite as punishing. Generally, things are easy to avoid, unless you're playing like the Mega Black Label version and put it on level 999 and the suicide bullets, and it's a real mess of everything everywhere. But otherwise, this one's not too bad in terms of difficulty, although I have managed to graze an enemy there and lose a bit of my health. But I am a bit out of practice. Now, it's one of the few Cave games I've actually managed to get through, which tells you probably all you need to know about the difficulty of it. It's also one I've got on the Xbox. Oh dear, I've lost a life. I'm out of practice. So lots of fantasy themed things. Dragons. Now, you hear the moo. Here is Mary. Now, Mary is the cow in Deathsmiles. With a nice little nose ring there. But quite a few attacks. Now, unfortunately, we are having to shoot Mary. But to say Mary will be fine, and if I insert another credit after this, you know, after I game over, we can come back here and Mary will still be there. That is a big cow, isn't it, Stephen? It's a very big cow. Now, I believe Mary is the only cow in Deathsmiles. But I will continue to play a bit more Deathsmiles before we revisit Mary. And yeah, the cat, she did explode, didn't she? Yes, that was a very big cow. You might even argue that that cow was a little bit too big. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just really small. But yeah, I don't know how cows get to that size. Maybe Cow could shed some insight on it. Was that a real cow, or was that a sort of a mutant cow from space? Or oh dear. Well, we will continue. I usually clear a few levels before we see that screen, but the hardware is not that impressive. It's basically an SH3 CPU, a Yamaha sound chip that plays low quality MP3-like files, and an FPGA that they program to act as a blitter that just blits lots of graphics. It's, they managed to make it look flashy with all the blending effects, but it's not the most fantastic piece of hardware in the world. It took a fair bit of optimising to get it to run smooth in MAME. You do have that attack too. Yeah, when this driver went in, I did spend probably a good month getting it from running at about 25% speed on the system I had at the time, up to a lot faster than that. And since then I worked on things like the recompiler for the SH3 to get a bit more speed out of it too. So it's had a lot of optimizations over the years, although the actual slowdowns are still not emulated properly because that requires you to emulate the blittered timings, which is quite complex. Deathsmiles doesn't really have that much in the way of slowdown compared to some of the other games, so it's not too bad here anyway. But it is noticeable if you've played the original and know where it slows down. Oh dear. Yeah, the shooter, the health bar means that if you take a slight hit, you'll only lose half a life, not a full life. It's quite a good way of doing things. Also, there's opportunities to get extra bars later. So, we'll complete one more level, and then we'll go back and play the... we'll have another look at Mary, won't we? Because this stream is about the cows, not about the rest of the game. But I do want to show off the rest of the game too. And yeah, if you like your shooters, then Deathsmiles, probably a well-known one. But it's definitely one to check out. This level always reminds me of the foresty bit in Thunder Force AC too. The first stage of that. I guess because it's a forest. The floating islands are a thing you see in quite a few cave games too. Even the vertical ones. Yeah, Guranga does similar with the health. In fact, yeah, I think I get a similar feeling playing Guranga to this, even though the mechanics are quite different. And again, Guranga is one that I can usually, if I'm not talking at the same time, I can usually survive a fair bit of time on. It's quite slow paced. And Guranga also has this kind of enemy, doesn't it? The sort of long chain-like enemies in the insect stage. Yeah, we've got a tree. So, you know, I think Mary can be proud to sit alongside these bosses. They're all very creative, kind of spooky bosses, and Mary is a giant cow. But she fits quite nicely. I think she's probably the best looking of the bosses. Yeah, so, okay, let's reset so we can get back to Mary. So, here we go. Now, I could put the Mega Black Label on version on, which would up the difficulty somewhat. But, it's still got the same Mary, so let's go to Mary stage. You don't have to start on Mary stage, you can do the first stages in different orders, and you can choose the difficulty. So I put it on a slightly higher difficulty this time, but we're still starting off with the stage featuring our lovely Mary. As I say, fits in well with the bosses, but is the best looking of them, at least in my opinion. we are here to appreciate cows. And she's not a grotesque skull or a rotten tree. She's just a big cow who, no doubt, on a day produces lots of milk. Can I play Wii Play? Is that on the Wii? Because MAME doesn't emulate the Wii. So I can't play Wii Play if it runs on a Wii. You see, I put it on a harder difficulty and there are a lot more bullets. Yeah, I don't think MAME's even got a... Has it got a drive for the Wii? I can't remember. It might have a skeleton driver, but no, MAME doesn't run any Wii stuff or anything really of that generation. It doesn't even run GameCube. So I can't really do Wii. Plus, I'd have no idea how to map Wii controls to a PC. So here we go. Here is Mary again. She's got quite a bit of moss on her, hasn't she? I think she's been rolling around in it. You see, now she's more determined to get her revenge. Look at the number of bullets Mary is firing at me. I can use big explosion on her. Well, it could have been a knockoff plug and play, but I figured it might be a Wii game. So I'm going to guess people consider Deathsmiles to be a mule or a jewel. I mean, to me, it's one of Cave's best games. It's probably my favourite, the SH3 hardware games. I do prefer the ones on the PGM type board, but if you ask me which is my favourite, the SH3 ones, it would be this one. Oh look, glowing eyes now, and this attack. So she's quite angry. See, now the squares are red because she's enraged. She's an enraged cow right now. Mule it is. Yeah, I'm sure one day MAME will do the Wii stuff, but I can't say when. It's her cow patch you have to look out for. Well, luckily we are not underneath. Tyranno Satan in Guanga, is that? Unfortunately, I don't think Guanga contains any cows, so we can't play Guanga. This won't be the last cave game we look at today, though. There are cows in another cave game. Not many, I think 3, but there are cows in another cave game. Yeah, but I think the cubes became red when she was angry, so I don't know if this is cause and effect or what. I mean, she seemed to be creating the red cubes, so was she making herself angry? But yes. You'll notice my theme is not very red today. I've gone for a very, well, very green, yellow, almost radioactive. Maybe don't eat the grass that's the colour of my leg up there, but yeah, this is a perfect Halloween game too, as you can see from the overall theme. It's kind of spooky. So again, if I do Halloween streams, this is going to crop up again. It's just one of those games that gets played for that reason too. Here is I should have picked a different level this time really, but let's get rid of Jordan. Some bombs. Now, yeah, you can use a specialist. I've not been using my discharge attack actually, where you get if you build up your crown collection, you can discharge them for a special mode where the mechanics change somewhat. I can't remember the exact mechanics off the top of my head. But if I'd researched it, I probably would have done. I used to know them. I used to know when to discharge and when to build up the counter. But you do forget these things after you've not played the game in a while. And also the value of the crowns you get depend on if they bounce and things like that. I mean, all these cave games have complex scoring mechanics. So yeah, if they bounce, they change colour. I think they're then worth less points. So you've got to try and collect them when they're fresh, and that builds up the counter in the bottom that then discharge at certain times. So if you're playing for survival, while I've been talking, you tend to ignore that type of thing. But if you're playing for score, it's important to keep in mind the actual mechanics that are there. Black Cow Vodka. We do have the Black Cow Vodka, which is apparently made from milk, purely from milk, and it is very clear. So, yes, I did decide to spend £20 on some Black Cow Vodka just for this stream. But there you go. So, general thoughts on Deathsmiles. There aren't many cows, there's just the one cow. Let's see, let's crack open this. Was not previously opened. There we go. Maybe just smells slightly creamy, I'm not sure. Don't think you meant to have vodka in shot glasses, but look, here is a shot of the vodka. Definitely slightly different taste to most vodka. As in most vodka, if you did that, it would be absolutely disgusting. So, yeah. Still, probably not my favourite drink. And I don't think you're meant to have shots of vodka. But Black Cow Vodka does seem pleasant enough. And yeah, it does have a slightly creamy taste. I don't know if that's just because it says it's made from milk and it's sort of placebo tricking me to thinking that. But yeah. Yes. So, Jewel, obvious gem, cracking game, moo. Bulls are pretty much cows that are dudes, yes. I mean, I prefer to have the your traditional black and white cows in these games just for the visuals, but yes, we will be featuring bulls too. There are games with bulls. Unfortunately, more often than not, when there's a bull in the game, the bull is the bad guy. You're fighting the bull, so I guess they're kind of angry. So yeah, I think we can put Deathsmiles in the jewel list. So, there we go. Deathsmiles is now up there with the jewels, or the mules. Now, I press escape. And now, I bring up my list of games and decide what we're going to do next. I'm just going to move this to the bottom because we've done it. There we go. Right. Plug and play. This is the Disney Game It Classic Pals, released sometime in the 2000s by Performance Design Products, licensed by Disney and developed by Junglesoft. This contains reskins of several games found in some of the other Junglesoft plug and plays, but with a few more games and themes. But there's a few different games, change games, with Disney themes. It's one of the few games that shows a Jungle Attack logo, Junglesoft logo. But the game I'm interested in is this one here, Goofy's game, Goofy's Milk Mania. So you've got to collect all the milk and take them to the dairy truck. Move Goofy and press B to restart the level. So you can see we've got plenty of cows, and I'm moving Goofy down in the corner and clearing a path. Now these are the milk. These are the milk here. You collect the milk, and the odd thing with this one is it's kind of a boulder dash game. If you clear a space under a cow, the cow will run downwards. So the mechanics of the game are top, you know, the side on boulder dash type view, but the graphics are kind of not, which is a little confusing. It has to be said. Now you can barely even tell they themed this one with Disney. You can just about see that it is Goofy in the tractor there, but he is a whole like 8 pixels or so. Yeah, cows only ever run south. Cow Appreciation Day is apparently a real day. If you Google Cow Appreciation Day, it will come up as today, the 13th of July 2021. It's not always the 13th of July. I think it's something to do with like the something Tuesday of the month, or I can't remember. But yeah, you can shove the cows along just like you can shove boulders. Now you will notice the milk cartons, milk pails don't fall down like the Jules would in Boulder Dash. But otherwise, yeah, this is a kind of a single screen Boulder Dash type game for kids. And it is important to emphasise the for kids bit. I mean, this is a plug and play thing. You plug it into your TV. It's not meant to have revolutionary gameplay or graphics. It's just a cheap toy to basically teach children a bit about gaming. So let's get all those. Let's go back up here. Yeah, it's something like that, Bob. But I was quite surprised when I found out it was a real thing, because I did think I actually thought it might be Cow in the Chat's birthday or something like that, but now I looked it up and it is a real thing. Also, there's no complex falling mechanics like you'd find in Boulder Dash. It's just the basic idea. But there's a puzzle element to this. Also, yeah, if the cow falls on you, it does kill you. Well, you lose a life. You don't have to restart the stage, but you do lose a life. Now this game, it does contain quite a few other games. I can't remember how many. I think it's about 10 or something. And they are all reskins of games you can find in other units. Although in this case, I think the version in the other unit is basically the same, because they probably thought Goofy looked so little like Goofy, they didn't have to change him. But I think, personally, while this isn't a game I'd go out my way to play, and it's a bit simplistic, although there are a few puzzles that you have to think about where you're going to push the cows to, I think it's an educational thing to teach kids about, you know, this type of game. This is actually probably pretty good. So I think this is where you have to be careful. But that wasn't very good for me. You're fighting yourself in is your name Mary too, cow? Yeah, don't. These cows are dangerous. I mean, I guess maybe they're quite heavy cows. I mean, they're not Mary level of heavy cow, because I think Mary must be quite a weighty cow because she's rather large, as in can trample houses. But still, these cows that only ever fall south. It must be quite heavy too. Now this did confuse me at first because I couldn't understand the mechanics in the game until I realised it was basically like Boulder Dash, because you know the cows aren't facing south; they're facing left. They're facing, you know, they're facing west, but they never run west. They just fall south. But once you work that out and you know what you're doing, pardon me, I think you've got a reasonably okay educational title in here with actual gameplay. Terrible music. Yeah, don't. If you go under a row of 3 cows like that, they seem to instantly crush you. So while you can stand under 1 cow, you can't stand under 3. That might be accurate to real life. I've never tried standing under 3 cows. But, can you stand under 2? Yeah, you can stand under 2. It's just 3. Don't stand under 3 cows. Your record is 2. 2 seems to be the sensible amount. Now, apparently, I've completed the game. So there is not actually much game there. You just have those levels. Yeah, they're very, very simple, very short, but you've got a whole bunch of other games types in here. What's this say? This is now this is actually a pretty bad one. This one you're just collecting things on your surfboard, so that's not worth looking at. This is a puzzle game, a sliding puzzle game. So yeah, you know, if you're trying to get, what's his name? Pluto. It's Pluto. It's Pluto, isn't it? To the exit. So this isn't cow themed, but just to give you an idea of the other type of games that are in this unit. This one is a sort of very simple magical drop type game. Again, this one, you know, with the Disney theme. Oh, this one's just throw things at the right power. This isn't very good. Yeah, that's quite a poor one. You got the swimming one. Yeah, it's a very simple Flappy Bird type thing. And so you've got collect the eggs. So they're very simple games, a bit like you get on Game & Watch, but you plug into the TV. Hay barrels, yeah, you're stacking up lines to clear them. And you've got a Sokoban game. Again, no cows in this one, so we've seen the game with the cow in. But again, if you wanted to teach your kids Sokoban, I messed it up. Oh dear. I say kids. Apparently I'm a failure at this game too. But if you wanted to teach them about this type of thing and puzzle games and get them into it with a Disney theme, I don't think this is a great device. I mean, they are just rethemed games, and you get less games than you would in the other units, but you do have the Disney license. But personally, this one would be one of those I'd put in just okay. You want me to read the titles of the game? Pluto's Sheepdog Day. This one you open and close the gates to get the coloured sheep in the right pens. Minnie's Fruit Fiasco. It's Puzzle Bobble. Not Puzzle Bobble, Puzzle Zoomer. But yeah, we've seen the cow game. I think we'll have to look at these. Yep, so the one we were looking at earlier is the Goofy's Milk Mania one, which is the one that does have the cows in it. Hey Andy, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, what do people think of this? I can't honestly say this is junk myself, because it has, to me, at least educational value and the Disney theme that's going to appeal to children. And it will teach them how to play some basic puzzle games. Yeah, as long as you're not... Well, I mean, kids are exposed to Disney anyway, aren't they? So, I don't think that's the main issue here. For kids, it's okay, yeah. It's Moo, nah, it's... Yeah. Oh, look, I've trapped myself. So you can trap yourself if you're not careful. You do have to think about these things. But, yeah, as plug and plays go... I'm going to put that in just average, unless anybody... Yeah, Moodicore or mediocre. Yeah, you think junk, average, yeah, it's... There are far worse plug and plays. It has some educational value, and we will be looking at worse plug and play, believe me. So... Hey Christian, welcome, and also if I've missed anybody who's arrived, welcome to you too. The chat does scroll quite quickly, which is a good thing, but it does also mean sometimes I miss people. So, Disney... So, right. That one goes down there. In the just average Disney's Game It Classic Pals. So, the one with a solitary cow that is quite a famous cow is up next. The one that I seem to remember seeing, if not playing, because I don't think I understood how to play it, I was too small, at Blackpool back in the day, I think. Hey Christian, thank you. I thought it was nice and fitting for the theme, so it is one I picked up for the theme. So this is Hard Drivin', which claims to be the most realistic driving simulator. Look, it's revolutionary. It's a revolutionary driving simulator. It combines an accurate model of race car handling with true 3D graphics and force feedback. And you can't get close to the thrill of real racing without a fireproof suit. That always sat in an odd way with me, because I can't think of many racing games, real racing, where you go around a loop. Yet the appeal of this game is the loop. Also, hi cow. Yeah, I mean, this was when? This was what? 88. So this is early days of 3D. So yeah, this is... there were earlier 3D games, even ones from Atari. I mean, Atari had iRobot. But polygon-based racer that runs relatively well. It was kind of rare. I mean, Namco had, I think, a winning run. That runs really badly. Hey, new retro plays. I'm sure the moderators will let that through, but trying to keep the language family friendly if possible. So anyway, we'll coin this one up. And I'm going to play it on auto, because the gear stick is an analog stick in its own right on this, which is a bit of a pain to map. So now we're going to drive slowly and carefully. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a tech demo and an experience, although there was fun to be had with it. Here is our friendly cow. there we go. You see, proper nice 3D model of a cow. And if you... And the cow does moo. Now clearly the cow is fine and was not injured by any of that, because the cow is still there. Now the 3D in this can be a bit glitchy. You can sometimes see through things you're not meant to see through, but that is because, you know, it's early 3D. So let's go and say hi to cow again. Look, the side-on view of the cow this time. We appear to be stuck in a cow. Yeah, don't get stuck in cows. But there is our cow. The cow does have thin legs, but maybe the cow just doesn't get to walk very far. I mean, clearly the cow has never fallen down this hill and had to walk back up it. Also, I'm going to run out of time here, but let's have a see if I can make it over this before I run out of time. Or, you know, not make it over this because I'm going too fast. But yeah, one of the good things about this game are the instant replays. You get to see how you crashed. Although I did notice when I was testing this earlier, if you knock over a sign, the instant replay starts with the sign knocked over. So technically it's not an instant replay. 4D sports driving, aka stunts. It did move. The cow does moo. I don't think I had 4D sports driving. I think well, I had an Amiga and a Mega Drive. I had this on the Mega Drive, and we will be looking at the Mega Drive version shortly, in fact. Let's at least try and, you know, complete a lap of the track. Just tell you how fast you can go over each thing. Pay attention to it. It helps. That car's taking a bit of a shortcut. This is one of the problems. The other traffic does really get in your way at times. I'm not going fast enough for this loop. Or am I? Maybe. Oh, I am. I am. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That was a close one. There's a lot of traffic today. It always looked odd to me that those barriers are green, but I think that's correct. So come on, let's get around the track. Now, one thing you do get to do in this game is race against your own ghost when you've done enough laps, I believe. Which is a nice little feature, and it's one of the reasons I did keep playing the Mega Drive version, at least back in the day, is because you were challenging yourself always to do better. There we go, I made it around the track. So there's also the choice of the speed track. So say hi to the cow. The cow's actually cow's up there. There you go, cow's up there, but we're going to go the other way this time. We're going to try to anyway. Now, I do prefer this over race driving. I don't like the additions in race driving. The extra tracks aren't that interesting and just seem to float in the air. But the original, you know, has got more appeal to me. I'm not sure how well it's aged. And like we said in the chat, it did always feel a bit more like a tech demo than a game, an experience. But it's an experience with playability, and you can get good at it. And in some senses, I like the way it's so open. I mean, obviously you've got your off-road timer. But other than that, the whole map is a real map. You can just see things in the distance where they're meant to be. The Super Stunt track has 2 cows, does it? I might have to have a look at it anyway then, cow. Step on. So let's have another little go at this. So another bit of a drive for this. So we can say hi to the cow again. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happens when you crash. You sort of get propelled backwards. Again, yeah, the whole thing about this having realistic physics, it's clearly marketing hype, not much more. There you are. So you can see the loop in the background there. You can see the bridge and the loop, and I think that is one of the things that did appeal to me about this. It's... Shall we say hi to the car? There we go. I said hi to the cow again. I don't know what the changes are between the revisions. A lot of Atari games had a lot of revisions. Sometimes they're documented, but I've not seen any documentation for what was changed between hard... What just happened there? Okay. Now I'm getting... I wonder if the slapstick hook broke. It's possible the slapstick hook was broken or something like that. But it's quite strange that suddenly something has kicked in that's sent me underneath the track a few times. I really don't know what happened there. I'm not... I mean... Yeah. Considering I've been doing that with Sega Rally and trying to help Ryan track down some bugs in that, I don't expect to be falling through the track in hard driving. It might be one where... I don't know what the slapstick does in hard driving, so it might be one where I'm going to have to ask a few questions just in case. Although it didn't glitch at all on the first run. Just that run. Anyway. I don't know, Bob. I've never seen that happen before. And then it happened twice in a row. Yeah, maybe that is a built-in revenge if you make the cow move too often. I did indeed fall through the floor. Hey Mitchell, welcome. Hard driving had an unreleased NES Famicom port. Is that the one where the ROM is available these days? I know it's got quite an impressive port to things like the Lynx. But anyway... where do we put the arcade hard drive in? Can I play the Bishi Bashi? The Bishi Bashi is a modern thing on PC hardware, so no big winner. I cannot play the Bishi Bashi. Put it in Duel from Custado. This was the natural evolution of Night Driver from Johnny Bond. Yes, I guess it was. Put it in hard. Duels are quite hard. Some junk's quite hard. I'm not sure. I mean, scrap e-waste can be quite hard. Diamonds are hard. And they're jewels. So I'm going to take that as a jewel because it contains a cow. And Stephen's going with mule. And Aussie Guy is also going with gem. Yeah, I do like the replays. They don't last quite long enough. But jewel out of respect. So let's put some hard driving in Duel. Right, so we've got not had any junk today so far. I think that might change. So there we go. Hard driving arcade goes in Duel. Now I specified arcade because I do want to look at this. This is the version of hard driving I grew up with, which is the Genesis version. And this, there's something quite disturbing about this, because it alerts me to the fact that there has been a spate of cow thefts. Yeah, the frame rate's a bit bad on this. At the time, when I had this on the Genesis, Mega Drive, I did not really notice the frame rate was this bad. I did have the PAL version, which probably relatively didn't seem as bad. But, yeah. Yeah, the cabinet makes a lot of the difference on hard driving. But anyway, here we go. Here is the cow in this. Now, if you notice, it's not a real cow. It looks like a cardboard cutout of a cow that has been propped up with a piece of wood. And that means somebody stole the cow. Look. Somebody stole the cow. Yes, cars drive through you and you crash afterwards. There you go. Cut out cow. It's a trick. Does have a sensor to go moo, but that is no longer a real cow. So who stole the cow? And why? And who would want that cow? That cow with the really skinny cow legs that just stands in front of a barn and does not do anything. Somebody decided, that's the cow I want to steal, and stole it. Yeah, the road underneath is invisible. The Mega Drive version displays far fewer graphics than the arcade, unfortunately, and the frame rate is a bit ropey. Yeah, Castle Master. I mean, Castle Master on the Castle Master Driller and the like. Those, was it Freescape games? They were really impressive, but yeah, they were slow. But they were real 3D. They actually had proper height and everything else. You go over things, under things. Technically they were very, very impressive. The 3D engine was more solid than this engine. This engine's glitchy all over the place, whereas the actual Castle Master engine was pretty solid. You're busy clipping me falling through the floor. Yeah, I'm gonna have to investigate that because it could be a slapstick thing. I don't know. I don't know how the slapstick is involved in the protection on this, other than there's a slapstick. But it could just be the physics glitched out because it's hard driving, and the physics do that. But yeah, growing up, I actually quite like this port. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the time I did just spend, crashing the car, stopping on the loop and seeing if I could crash. No, I didn't crash. And then watching the replays because that was the fun of it. But it's definitely not a jewel, this. Personally, I don't think it's junk. I mean, the Mega Drive was not designed to do 3D games, and you do actually have a playable game here. So to me, this is one that definitely goes in average. It's ambitious, not as impressive as other games on the platform, but it gives you the right experience. It's got everything you need in the game, and say the way you get to race the Phantom car of your own lap is challenging, and it works alright as a home game. It's just got the single course, but at the time you didn't really expect much more. C64 hard driving. Yeah, that does look a bit of a mess. I had the Spectrum version of hard driving too, which was really hard to drive because the steering didn't auto-center. You have to hit space to center the steering. So my hard driving on Spectrum was more like drunk driving. And maybe that's why this Mega Drive version seemed quite reasonable afterwards, because the frame rate is far better than on a monochrome Spectrum version. But we will be moving on from hard driving shortly. In fact, as soon as I've completed this lap, or failed to complete this lap, we will probably have a look at something else instead. So here we go. So yeah, I think you have to complete like 2 or 3 laps and then you get the ghost car. Anyway. Mega Drive hard driving. Average. The frame rate's better in some places than other places. Depends how much is on the screen, big window. On the speed track, it's better because it's not drawing big loops and ridges. Race driving on the SNES, isn't that one that was recently fixed using the SA1? Although the camera still moves in sharp angles up and down because the engine is terrible anyway. So if anything, it looks worse now. It runs fast. Yeah, the SNES version is terrible. The C64 version is terrible. The SNES version somehow looked worse with the faster frame rate because the actual vertical movement of the camera angle is awful. The Mega Drive port of hard driving is perfectly serviceable. So I'll put that on average. I think that I'm not going to play the C64 version. Don't think it'd run, to be honest. So we'll put that in your just average hard driving Genesis. Right. I should have some of the chocolate. I had some of the vodka earlier. I might need to pour another drink in a bit, but probably not a shot. I might open the Coke. Let's get this open. So we have some bubbly milker. Oh, it's been on my desk a bit of a while. It's melty. Not bad. It reminds me of those Kinder bars, the little I don't know what they're called. Yes, you can sort of like Aeros, but milker with a Kinder flavour. Quite nice, actually. Anyway, what we're going to do next, we are going to play another game. Yeah, let's play that one. Again, we looked at this one on another stream. This is Lasso 1982 SNK. The cow is in the NES version, is it, Bob? Or are we talking the C64 version? There we go. Cow. Anyway, let's coin this up and have a go. So the first level, you are not dealing with cows. You're dealing with clouds, sheep. You have to stand still while you do the lasso in this, otherwise it doesn't complete the circle, and then you don't capture what you're trying to capture. A Stampede is on my list, cow. Stampede is on my list. So here we go. Look at these cute cows. This is a decent number of cows. I've got to round up. You see that I'm not harming them, although that dog is getting the cow out of the pen. Very naughty dog. Also, the cows do hurt. Yes, it does look like a bit of a beardy Mario, doesn't it? Now we're no cows on this level. But you know, there are multiple roles. You know, it can't be cows all day. And the dog's got me this time. Stampede is on your list too. What is your list, Custado? Do you have a secret list? Did I just enter Bar as my name? I got sheep on the brain, not cows. I really should be entering Moo, shouldn't I? I don't know why you can't lasso the dogs. You can't. The secret cow list. Oh, you made a list of games with cows in. Are you playing cow game bingo? And you know, if I get them, you're crossing them off. Is there a sub game going on here? Come on, I need to get to the cow level. I got the sheep. That was a double KO. I'm sorry, but I got the sheep. I won't be playing Diablo because I think I'd only be able to run the PlayStation 1 version. I don't know if the PlayStation 1 version has cows. I couldn't find out. Here we go, cow level. Cow level's easy. The dogs are wolves. So that would make more sense. I've seen that name quite a bit. Toes. They did some stuff for Namco too, didn't they? I think. Apparently, I'm not very good at this game. Maybe I'm just dying so we can get to the cow level again. There appear to be snakes down the wells. Or maybe there's serpents. I don't know, they spit water at me. Not really sure. I always thought they were snakes, but yeah, I'm less sure. Does look a bit like something from Mario. Yeah, I completed the level, thank you. Yeah, I think this is a unique arcade game. I can't think of any others that have this Lasso type gameplay. The closest would be, say, Quantum, but that's just you drawing circles around things. Got by the cow. So, I appreciate the cow. The cow did its job. I don't know, Wolfaz. A lot of the time, individuals aren't credited, so I don't know. The end. So, what do people think of Lasso? Again, this is one that personally goes in my list of jewels. I actually really like this one. Simple concept, but done well. Oh yeah, I forgot you can fire. can do that too. So you can fire a little fireball. See, get rid of the wolf. You can do it from quite far away, but getting somewhere safe far away and timing it right is tricky. There we go. Could be fun as a twin stick game. The whole point is you have to stay still to fire Custado, so I don't think twin stick could really change it. You have to know where you want to fire it and not move, because if you move, it gets rid of the rope, the lasso. So twin stick I don't think can make a difference here. You see, you can't hurt the cows with the fireball. But they do wake up if they're lying down. You think it's average big winner? Okay. Cow stage done. You think it's okay, Aussie guys? So that's 2 averages. Ooh, wrong place to stand. Right. So I think we've seen all we really need to see of Lasso. I mean, we've got your various animals, including the cows. Plenty of cows, you round them up, because that's one place these cows tend to appear, is in the sort of Western roundup games. Average for you too. Okay, we're getting a lot of averages, and a Bob with an average. I guess it goes under average then. That surprises me. I thought that one would be one that people put up in Duel, but average, it is just bovine. So we have Lasso going into average. So we're 1 hour and 20 minutes into the stream. Right, okay. So Lasso is in just average. Now, next up, we are going to switch to the PlayStation. Let me just move that out the way so I can see the chat. So this is a game called CyberSpeed, developed by Mindscape. Going down a little bit. Definitely not on your list, Gustavo. Ah. So, this one,
This is CyberSpeed.
Free race.
It's time to choose your team. Hey,
There we go, you see, you enter the secret code and you get to play as Daisy, age 7. It's a cow. And yeah, we've only got 2 tracks unlocked, so So yeah, I did have to enter a little cheat code there. But what you get as a result is Daisy the cow. Now this is definitely a unique racing game. It's a racing game where you're on a wire track. As you can see, you swing around on the wire track. And you can turn around, which is not always a good idea. What's view backwards? Oh, there we go. You see, there we go. You can see the cat. There we go. You see, I am a proper cow. And you can drop mines if you're facing backwards. But yeah, when I was looking up games with unlockable cows, this one came up. I do like any racing game with a sort of unique gameplay concept, and this one you've got to try and keep your angle right to not lose speed on the corners. So it feels a bit like a cross between a bobsleigh game and a racing game. And of course it's got an unlockable cow, and it's got weapons. Not having to use them at the moment because I'm doing okay. I'm quite far ahead, although I think I'm out of speed ups, because when it goes moo you're using a speed up, and I think you have to limit the number of them. Yeah, okay, and I've been overtaken. Unfortunately, I might have used my powers too early. But there aren't many games where you get to play as a racing cow. There is another one, and we will be looking at the other one. Oh. Yeah, I've lost another place. Yeah, you do have to rotate and try to get the power-ups too, so remembering where they are is important. And now I'm in 4th place. I'm back in 3rd. Fortunately, I don't know how you dodge incoming missiles. So I don't know if I don't really know the mechanic in terms of if it's best to stay above 4th. I don't think 4th wins me anything. No. It doesn't really play like Wipeout mode. Yeah, 4th. Now, unfortunately, I think I do have to enter the code again, so up, left, down, right, left, down, right. No, that's wrong. Messed it up. Yeah, I messed that up. Abort. Let's try again. I think if you've got a memory card inserted, you can save. Up, left, down, right, left, down, right, square. So it's not always easy to get right. I'm surprised I got it right the first time. Right, there is another way to do it, a track as a cow, which is to go options, load, password, lots of L's, but I think this dumps you in career mode as a cow. Cow was already unlocked. Oh, does it stay unlocked? That might be the problem, though. I thought you had to unlock it every time. I was not paying attention. You don't know how you feel about it, RE9. Yeah, I think that's what I like it. Yeah, cow ziplining. It's... But you do have to learn the courses and where the power-ups are. And I think they do get more complex as well. There's ones where you can jump between different rows. There must be a way to block attacks too. it's just, it reminds me of roller coasters, and I always like roller coasters. I love Power Drift because it's a game, you know, a roller coaster game. I love Stunt Car Racer because it's got roller coaster courses. It's just one of those things that appeals to me. So I think you pick those icons up to get an extra speed boost. You have to remember where they are. You have to swing past things. You do have pretty good control over your swinging, but you will lose speed if you do it wrong, and that's the problem I've got right now. I've lost a lot of speed just from not cornering well. I'm surprised this doesn't have more of a following. It seems like one of those games that I'd expect to have a cult following of sorts. Or, you know, a modern remake. I really need another speed up, unfortunately. I don't know where to get one. Yeah, I think if you tilt against the corner, you don't lose any speed. So that's probably what I need to do. But at the same time, I'm going to be overtaken by people who've still got their speed ups left, and now I'm in fourth again. It runs well on the PlayStation. The graphics, I think, are pretty good. There's not too much distortion of any of the polygons or anything like that. And I guess if you played it more, you get used to the aiming of the weapons. Well, if I'm in the air, apparently I get more speed. Yeah, I'm up to... Okay, so getting up high in the air is a good strategy because I'm up to like 240 up there. But I'm down to... So you do have to learn how to play this and how to corner to get the maximum speeds. The music stopped. That might be a MAME emulation bug. I think sometimes tracks don't loop when they're meant to. Race over. Fourth again. Not really what I wanted. But hey, the Ogre, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Cow was... Yeah, cow. Let's see if Cow is still unlocked. So Daisy the cow finished fourth again. I don't know what the FMV is, but let's skip the FMV. So free races. The cow's already unlocked, is she? Oh yeah, Daisy's unlocked, you're correct. So I don't think we've looked at the first track, and I don't have any other unlocked after this. So let's have a look at the first track.
3, 2, 1, go!
They're fairly confident there's a place in LSD Dream Emulator that had cows. That's one where I'd have to probably research it off stream though, and I haven't done that because that game is confusing, to put it mildly.
You didn't want to do that.
No, I didn't want to do that. So you don't be on top of the course then, because
Great corner. 7 laps to go.
I'm way at the back now. It's, oh, cow gone spinning. I think the other vehicles do save their bones. So you have to be quick to get that power up there, the speed up one, because otherwise you bang yourself on the wall. I mean, to me, this one, I've never played it before, but I kind of get the impression it's probably going to be one I would consider a duel just because there's nothing else quite like it. I love games that the only way to get that experience, as long as it's a good experience, is to play that game. I'm sure once you get the hang of the way to get your maximum speed, like I'm 250 now, it will be very addictive. And there's lots of courses. I mean, if you look at the list of courses, there's what, about 20 courses or something? So plenty to unlock and plenty to figure out. No. Anyway, this is one of the few where you can actually play as a cow as well, so that also meant it was an absolute must play for this stream once I found out you could play as a cow in it. Ooh, I'm not going to win this. 4th place. Nah. I'm good at finishing 4th, apparently. But anyway, let's quit out of this one. So, yes, ouch indeed, cow. You hit a wall. What do people think of that one then? I say to me, I'm probably going to put that one on duel myself. I don't think anybody can call it junk, but maybe it's one the chat will decide is average. You didn't really like it, Custado. Ah. Or are you talking about LSD Dream Emulator? You don't know how you feel about it. Yeah, I read that before in Atari. Okay, so looks okay. Mosen okay. So, any strong opinions on this one? Okay, dual but barely. Average, moverage. Okay, it looks like averages are winning then. Okay, we weren't going to hang around too long. I'll put it under average. That disappoints me a little bit because I thought that one would be well loved, but apparently that is an average cow game. And that is what this is about. The chat has the final say. Yeah, Mick thinks it looks good. It's not junk. Again, another average from Custado, I guess. So yeah, it's gone under average. I mean, of the average games we've looked at, I think I'd recommend that one more highly than the others. Maybe it's more fun to play than it is to look at. Okay. Now this one is maybe an odd choice. And I don't want to spend too long on it because it's not that interesting a little fact. But when I was researching cows in games, let's change the video options. Slider controls, isn't it? I always look in video options because it is a video option, but it's under slider controls. Now this isn't well emulated. Lots of sounds are missing, although for some strange reason, with the videos on YouTube from other emulators, there's loads of sounds missing too. But there is one video with the proper sounds. So I'm guessing emulating sound in this is a challenge even for other Game Boy emulators, never mind MAME. But there's meant to be gunshots and things like that, and they don't appear. But anyway, this is a game from VER.A. And the music is kind of bad because of MAME. And when I was researching the cow stream, this stream, I found out there is this thing called the hidden rareware cow, which apparently in Rare's mobile games, there is a hidden cow somewhere in most of them. And Perfect Dark has the easiest to find hidden cow, the one that's actually kind of near the start of the game. So we start on the training level. So there's meant to be gunshot sounds that aren't any gunshot sounds, and there's meant to be speech. But yeah, so yeah. Okay, you can obtain things from the guards, yeah. Now, I did manage to fail doing this several times when I was practicing, but now we get a little target gallery thing. Okay, without the gunshot sound, so if I go boom, 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 but it, you got me hit the keyboard, maybe that counts. But yeah, there are meant to be sounds. I think the cartridge also had a rumble pack built in, so maybe that's something to do with the missing sounds too. I really don't know. I'm not a much of a knowledgeable about Game Boy person. So go through that and shoot you. You've got nothing. You've got the first aid kit, I think, so that might be handy. Door code. Blue, blue, blue. It's handy that the security doors tell you the code. I've never seen a security door that does that in real life. It kind of is the opposite of security. Nothing on you. Alright, see you, the ogre. Take care. Thank you for dropping by. And obviously, thank you for the work you do on adding the summaries, the timing stamps of the stream. So let's get you out of the way. So yeah, apologies for the lack of sounds, but I can't be helped, and it's probably better given the state of MAME's sound emulation on the Game Boy. Oh, another target round. Even the enemies are wearing camo. That's not what I was going for, but I guess you could say they are. They are wearing the right colours. It does look kind of like I'm carrying a head like this, unfortunately. But yes, they do appear to be wearing cow colours, don't they? I had not noticed that before. But they are not actual cows. I'm not harming cows by shooting them. Right, so now we're outside. Now from here, it is just a case of going north. It might be Dalmatian suits. I don't know what's worse then, if I'm shooting cows or Dalmatians. Right, and then from here, if we go... There we go. Here is the secret cow, the secret rare cow in Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color. It is drawn, graffitied onto the wall. Now, Conker's Pocket Tales has some cows in them. Mickey's Racing Adventure has cows. Donkey Kong Country has cows. Mickey's Speedway has cows. Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge has cows. Even the Game Boy Advance game, Saberwolf has hidden cows. It's Mr. Pants has hidden cows. You can Google the hidden rareware cow and find where people have located the hidden cow on different games. Now, I'm only going to demonstrate this Perfect Dark one because it's the quickest one to do, and the others are sort of about a good 20 minutes into the game sometimes. Slightly underwhelming, yeah. But there you go. There is a cow hidden away in Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color. Now, I don't know if to ask you to rate that one. Apparently it's a good game. People seem to really like that game, but I've never been that into Perfect Dark anyway. But apparently if you've got a Game Boy, It comes with a rumble pack, and it's a really good stealthy adventure. But it doesn't really do it for me. So I don't know where people want to put that one. Again, it's probably not junk. To me, it's not a jewel. But maybe if there are people here who have played it that really like it, come forward. Otherwise, I think it does just go into average for being a game that's probably not aged that well. I mean, when it was your only option to play it on the go, Big Winner says okay. You have no idea what to rate it. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's a very difficult one to rate, which is probably why it's just going to end up in the middle category. Was not on your list. Were any of the rare cows on your list, Costado? Or is that something you hadn't discovered when researching? Anyway, I think this one can go in average because it's not one I can fairly rate. You hadn't researched it. Yeah, I mean, I only discovered it earlier this morning. So it was a late addition to my list, but one I thought I should put on there. Right. Okay. I guess we'll go with one a lot of people wanted to see. And this one will certainly be on your list, Costado. This is Wild West Cowboys of Mesa. Konami. Konami's kind of take on their own Sunset Riders game, but with actual cow characters, based on, I think, a TV series. Will MAME run Windows 95? I've run Windows 95 in MAME before, Bob. It was a miserable experience, but you can get it running in the 486 driver. Yeah, there are Wolfaz in the real game of Perfect Dark, and there's one video on YouTube with them there, but a lot without them, so I guess Game Boy emulators have also had problems with it. But yeah, it's not meant to be that quiet. It's meant to have footsteps, digitized speech, and all sorts. So I think technically it's meant to be a really impressive Game Boy game, but it's just not one I can personally rate anywhere. This one is on your list, yes. This one is probably one of the obvious choices. But they're cows that walk on two hind legs. You know, bipedal, would you say? I think is that the correct term? As opposed to on all fours. But yeah, it's very Sunset Riders. So let's have a look at it. So who do I want to be? Let's be the most cow looking one. This is fairly quiet. I'm going to turn the volume a little bit. Not too much. So you can roll, charge. You see, I am shooting cows, but I am also a cow. So does that make it any better? Yes, in Super Skidmarks you can race as cows. Super Skidmarks would be looking at. Unfortunately, it would be the Mega Drive version because the Amiga version really doesn't run properly. MAME. Yeah, we'll be having a look at Super Skidmarks in a little bit. It's another one where you need a cheat code to get the cows on the Mega Drive. Yeah, this one has to be played today. I think Sunset Riders is another that really should be if there's time. Because it's got the Stampede section, hasn't it? Hey Mass Ninja, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. We are looking at games with cows somewhere in them. And this is one of them. Dear. Are you going to land? Not there. There. Didn't go that way. Sunset Riders is also on the list. Yeah, they're two classic Konami games with cows in. Fog in final game boss. Yeah, there's lots of visual bugs in the Konami games, Mass Ninja. They're all part of this Konami rewrite that's maybe going to happen sometime in the next 20 years. Say nobody's really working on the Konami drivers because they're already being worked on, but in a private branch, which is, you know, where the Overdrive driver came from. So it's a bit of a waste of time improving them in regular, because any improvements will just get wiped out when the rewrite gets merged. But we don't know when that's going to be, because it's not even been made into a pull request yet, and it's probably quite out of date at this point. Now we are a flying cow because we have a nice little eagle. I'm sure this is what happens in real life. Eagles pick up cows and take them on a little journey. I also tell it's a very Konami-like shooting section. It's Olivia's rewrite. Olivia Galabert Bob. I know the branch was accessible at one point. I don't know if it still is. I think he had it in his own repository. Yeah, they did. I mean, a lot of these IPs are like this and Bucky O'Hare are just things that never actually seem that popular. So, you know, nobody I know that wasn't around at the time knows Bucky O'Hare or this or anything else. They don't even realise they're based on shows if they just play the games. Which is a shame in the sense that I think the shows they had potential and the games are good, but the fact the shows didn't succeed means the games are never going to get sequels. So they became one-offs, but maybe they didn't need a sequel. Maybe the fact that this is sort of parody Sunset Riders itself makes it a sequel to Sunset Riders. I don't know, depends how you look at things. Yeah, there are missing blending effects, Mass Ninja. It is a known issue. You're probably more likely to get them implemented in Final Burn Neo than the MAME until the rewrite's done. Same with broken graphics and things like G.I. Joe. They're not going to be fixed in MAME until the rewrite's done. I don't even think I can get the Escape Kids clocked up to run at a decent rate either, because again, pretty much all the Konami drivers are locked until the rewrite goes in, and don't know when that's going to be. Yeah, this is. I'm fairly sure if you concentrate, this is a pretty easy 1cc. It's just a case of positioning yourself correctly and not just charging into things. And some of the attack patterns are very similar to things I remember from Sunset Riders 2. Isn't the boss very much like this in Sunset Riders, just with a different theme? So, let's keep going. But this is also one of those 4-player games as well, so if you've got a whole bunch of friends, you can play 4 players. Although I imagine the screen is quite cluttered with 4 players, to be honest. There's not getting much room to move around. Just pause while I pour myself a little drink. So it will be the Black Cow vodka. See, there we go, the Black Cow vodka that I bought for this stream. And I think I'll be putting a bit of Coke in it this time because I'm not too keen on vodka straight, to be honest, even if it's quite nice vodka. Let's add a little bit of Coke to it. Yeah, and still the flavour still comes through. You could see Cadbury's Dairy Milk Chocolate Cup, just to keep with the cow theme. Black Cow vodka, made from milk apparently. Now you can see my character's name is a pun on cow, but it's got cow at the start. So don't jump into barrels. But yes, lots and lots of cows and cow-like creatures in this one. And the odd cacti. Or cow dressed as cacti. Get to nuke everything with the TNT there. Now another flying section. Now Konami did seem to like to mix up the game styles in these games as well a bit, didn't they? I think Bucky O'Hare does the similar. It's got sections that play quite differently. Cactus. Yes, that would be the one. Custado. Or are you Cowstado today? Oops. Colorado. So we are 1 hour 56 minutes into the stream. I'm guessing it's going to be a 3-hour stream then, because there's still plenty to look at. Plenty more bad things too. We don't actually have any junk yet. I think I'm going to have to fix that. I feel a little bit unkind because people seem to like the one I think is going to go into junk. At least young children do, but I think objectively it's terrible, so we'll have a look at it in a bit. Now this one I'm assuming is going into Jewel or Mule. I'm assuming there's a missing health bar here too, because all these bosses seem to, like they should have health bars, and this one did not. Unless it's just a mid-boss, it doesn't. I don't know. Now this boss has got a proper health bar. Okay, maybe mid-bosses don't. I don't know. I've not played this on original hardware. But you've got your typical fantastic Konami sprite work of the era. Lots of variety. Everything really well animated. You know, I don't think you can really fault anything about this game. It was Konami at their best, really. in terms of creativity, art style, music, and playability. As I say, there's good variety. Bosses like this with the destructible parts is much more fun than just every enemy having a plain health bar and nothing more. This adds a bit more to it, targeting different parts and seeing them blow up and seeing how the abilities of the boss change when parts are missing. Yes, VER.A Boys, at least the special version does. It's about level 3, so it's one of those that I might look at. Was it level 2? There's you have to go quite a long way into the game to get to the bull. It is one that's on my list, Aussie guy. Again, who would have thought that would be the next part of the train to attack you? A spinning top from the chimney. Just a couple more shots. And there we go. Ooh, and the bald eagle flies off. And apparently I have to continue. What happened there? I wasn't paying attention. I thought I completed the stage. Then we can go to another stage if we want. But I think we've seen what Mesa has to offer. It's a cow-themed shoot 'em up with lots of cows and everything themed around cows. All the enemies are cows. You're cows. It's a very cow fest of a game, isn't it? Are we all going to agree that that one is a jewel or a mule? I mean, I think it's difficult to say it's anything else. Jewel or average? You think you prefer the less polished ones, Bob? It's still a jewel. I mean, the theming is great. You're going to go eat grass. Probably a good idea, cow, because the next one is going to be mighty unimpressive. Yeah, unless anybody's got any objections, I think this one goes in jewel. I've not heard many people say a bad word about it, and I can see why. Oh, you've got an average though. Wolfhouse is average. 009 is jewel, but we've got like 3 jewels, 4 jewels, including mine. I think, yeah, Aussie guy. Mule, jewel, custado. Yeah, so cowboys. So Cowboys and Mesa goes up there in the jewels. Eat. The video I have of this on my YouTube is very popular. Lots of people seem to like it. I guess people grew up with it. This is Dora the Explorer, Nursery Rhyme Adventure, plug and play game from JAKKS Pacific. Oh, average between jewel and... Okay, so it's still in the jewel section to me. I think I'll bump it up to jewel for you, Wolfaz. Right, this is Nursery Rhyme Adventure, which it's got some rhymes in it. If we go to the spider game, you get the Incy Wincy Spider song, which is the nursery rhyme. Why you climb up the water spout, you know, the whole thing. And it's a very simple game for kids. It's a joystick and 1 button. You're really just avoiding the raindrops while you go up on this game. But I'm not really here to demonstrate this game. Let's reset. Because one of the other games is this one. You see the cow there? Now this is obviously based on the cow jumps over the moon. But it doesn't seem to play the nursery rhyme you'd expect. For every other mini game, it's just got a more generic rhyme to play. So the cow's there, the target's there. You just put the number of characters you need on to turn it green, and then you press go. And the cow moves and jumps over the moon. Or the moon. And it celebrates. Gives you celebrations. Now, should we put them all on again? Oh, now if you put them all on, it goes too far. So, if we do this, it's not quite right. The cow instead just goes straight up in the air. And you fail. So, to get it over the moon, get the cow over the moon, you have to put the right amount. It tells you how many you need because there's a green arrow when it's correct. Now the problem is, to me, yeah, it's really, really simple. It's made for young children. But if you're going to have a game called Nursery Rhyme Adventure, you need to have the right nursery rhymes for each minigame. And it doesn't. It's got this sort of generic, I don't know, Latin dancey track. This isn't a nursery rhyme. So let's get it wrong again. See what happens when we get it wrong. So there's no proper jump animation there either. The cow has not jumped over the moon, the cow has jumped into the moon and fallen down. You believe NASA used a similar system for the moon landings? Possibly. Oh, look, which ones do we need? So it's basically finding the right character combinations that turn it the colour you want to get over the moon. In this case, it is all of them again. I think to me it's junk because it doesn't have the proper nursery rhymes, and it seems very, very low effort. I mean, if you're doing a kids game, you want to go over the top with the animations. Even if the gameplay's simple, you know, you've got your cat with its fiddle, you've got the cow jumping over the moon, but look, you're just going. The cow's well animated, but the rest isn't. It does have a cow. The cow is jumping over the moon. I think if you play the game more than once, if you go back into the game, it'll give you ones with different combinations, so you have to guess. I think maybe it gets rid of the guiding line. I'm not sure if it does. Some of these do that. The more you play them in one sitting, the more difficult it gets. But there's no save feature, so you're starting again every time. There's a star where the shadow of the moon would be. So it has lots of stars, and the moon gets lower and higher, and yet you can collide with the moon. I don't know. Sometimes. And there we go. We've completed the mini game. And there you go. You do get the nursery rhyme, but you don't get the music for it. There probably should be, but again, it's kind of minimal effort now. This is the issue I have with this plug and play. Story is just the games in order, select games is just one of the games, credits is credits. Select it again, I don't know if it'll make any difference. No, it's going to be the same, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't think this even gets any harder. I think it's just repeating the same game. It's one I worked on the emulation of, Bob. It's not one I developed. I mean, it runs on the Sun Plus hardware. It's one we picked up with Sean, and Sean had it dumped, but I guess if you grew up with it, you're going to have some fond memories of it, but to me, that one, compared to some of the others, is just such low effort that, to me, that one goes in junk. I don't know where anybody else is going to put it. So we've got a junk from C.O.W. A junk from me. Do we have any other opinions on the Dora the Explorer? Junk from Big Winner. Yeah. Even for kids, I think this one isn't great. If you had nothing else, maybe you can have fond memories of it, but junk from Aussie Guy. Yeah. So Dora Nursery Rhyme Adventure can sit in the junk list. We needed one to go in the junk list. Yeah, pretty junky. Bob gave it a move bridge, but I think that the junks are winning. So it has gone. It's our first entry of the night in the junk list. Is Dora's Nursery Rhyme Adventure. So we needed one to balance things out a bit, didn't we? Right. Actually. This was mentioned in the chat earlier. Go a bit of Atari 2600. This is Stampede. So, again, you've got a lasso. And apparently, I think these are dogs. And you can't let them go off the left-hand side of the screen. Little bit of a skull there. However, the black one, is meant to be a calf. And I think the manual says a stubborn calf. Basically, it just doesn't move. But I've let one off the side. I've let another off the side. Get forward, get forward. Get forward, get forward, get forward. You see, your lies are the number you can let go past, and those ones you have to get down quick to. Yeah, they're a better plug and play for kids than that one. I would agree. So yeah, this is probably a fairly early 2600 game, I'd say. I don't know. Didn't grow up with one, but it seems to have that simple gameplay associated with the earlier titles, more so than the later ones. Ooh. But yeah. I missed that one. Yeah. So those black cows are the real challenge, because you can't push them forward and they're not running. So if you see one, you've got to get it. I don't know how you get down in time for them, to be quite honest. This is on your list. You mentioned it earlier, didn't you, C.O.W? Activision did a lot of games for the good old 2600. How on earth are you meant to get to some of these? Am I missing some gameplay mechanic here? This is just up, down, left, right, button 1, selecting. Yeah, so that's speed. Yeah, it really is the simplest. Okay. So do you just have to kind of try and stay in the middle so you're always prepared for when one of the black cows appears? It's like getting to that cow is kind of tricky. I assume that's difficulty. Yeah, now it's fast. I'm no faster. I mean, I suppose to rate this one, I need some context of what other games were out at the same time. I mean, if the choice was between buying Pitfall and buying this, then you're going to feel pretty ripped off if you bought this. But given they're both Activision, I don't think they would have both been out at the same time. I can't get to that one. I'm not very good at this, as you can see. It's a bit loud. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit because I turned it up on the previous games and forgot to turn it back down again. I mean, it does kind of contain cows. I mean, sort of tell that's a cow. But again, how do I? I'd like to see. I'd like to watch a video of somebody good at this game and how they actually managed to deal with it. Did you just learn where they're going to appear? They seem to be set patterns. It's always one up there, and then the next one's always low down, isn't it? But also, I have to deal with those. No, that's a different place. Pitfall is a year later. A lot changed in a year then, because this is a very simplistic game. Whereas Pitfighter? No, not Pitfighter. Pitfall is very ambitious. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think this would have held my interest for long, but it was 1981, and the home market in 1981, there wasn't much about, really. And if I think of the early games I played, you know, Spectrum stuff, none of that was really 81. It was all newer. You like this one, Bob? I've definitely played 2600 games that appeal to me more. I say my personal feeling on this one is somewhere between junk and average, but it might just be one of those that's slightly before a time I can appreciate. And you do get it. I mean, I find that with early arcade games, a lot of the ones, you know, the ones from the 70s. I don't get it all. So maybe the late 79, but anything from 76, apart from the driving one, 280 Zap. That one's really good, but a lot of the 70s arcade games, ones that require two players, I struggle with, and that might be what I'm feeling with this one. Kind of, you had to be there. This had to be one of the things you had to. I can't really get past this point. Oink is fun. I guess Oink doesn't have cows, does it, Dink? So yeah, I'd say this one was average, maybe. I mean, if we put into, you know, the context of being 1981. Anyway, I think we'll move on because I think that's all there is to show for Stampede, really. No, I paused the game, Big Winner, when I was thinking if I wanted to continue with it or quit it. Average. I think we've got a pretty good from Bob. Yeah, it's the cow appreciation / stream for Cow Appreciation Day, Dink. So games I play have to have some sort of cow or be suggested by cow. Big Winner thinks it's trash. Ooh. So we've got a good from Bob, a trash from Big Winner, an average from Costado. I'm going to go average. So we're levelling out about average at the moment. Yep, okay. Average is where Stampede is going. You had this one, did you, Dink? So I never encountered a 2600 myself, but for now it's gone into average. Say we can think about these on a later stream and maybe move some if needs be. Right. Now we're going to go with one that I don't really know how to play. Attack Play Rail on Namco System 12, which is a PlayStation type hardware, I believe. There are 2 buttons and a speed lever control. Okay. There's 5 games on your list that haven't been mentioned. It seems quite quiet, so we can turn the volume up here. Is your list isn't entirely arcade, is it? Because you had Stampede in there. Well, this one, all I know is if you let the track demo play, you see some cows. Because this one wasn't actually planned for this stream. I'm planning a Namco stream where I look at things like Prop Cycle. But obviously I was trying out different Namco games. And I tried out this one. And I let the attract mode run. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm letting the attract mode run. Now that seems to show 3 buttons, but I don't know. I can't read Japanese. It's a train simulator. It's a bit like a Densha to Go, but with toy trains. But here we go. There are cows. Look at those beautiful cows. As our toy train drives through a farm. And our toy train does a loop-the-loop. Sure, that's what trains do. Yeah, let's coin it up. I think I can guess at least one of the games that's on your list. So is the red button just the start button? The other 2 are those 2, right? So, select the train. Consumption of battery. Well, I'm going to say Raiden is probably on your list because that's kind of a famous one. Okay, so that includes my speed. Okay. Raiden's not on your list. Curious. Raiden is one that gets mentioned quite a bit. Because you've got all the cows in the field at the start. See, the problem is, I don't know what it's telling me. I'm sure I'm meant to be keeping within a certain speed, like all these train simulators. And I can use the batteries every now and again, although I appear to be burning through my batteries. I'm probably going too fast now. Yep, that's definitely too fast. The level is called Moo Moo Mountain. Perfect. Did I stop here? No. I probably was meant to stop there, wasn't I? Here are the cows. Let's try again. Yes, there's a plug and play based on the same thing as well, Johnny. But I've not hooked up the controls in it yet. No. It says no at me, so I guess I'm doing something wrong. Maybe my speed. Yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster, isn't it, Aussie guy? I mean, I would have loved a train set as a kid if you could have loop-the-loops. I don't know if you could on these play rail things. You certainly couldn't on your standard train set.
No.
So yeah, it says no whenever I do that, so I'm doing something wrong, clearly.
Excuse me. No.
Oops. I have a horn. Okay. Oh, the start button's the horn. Okay, okay. What are the other buttons then? I don't know what the controls are. It told me to stop at the cat. Oh, okay. Now, I know we've found some English sets of things like Armadillo Racing recently, but I'd be kind of surprised if there's an English set of this. It told me to stop, then I hit a cow.
No.
How am I meant to stop in time? Are some of these buttons the brakes? Is it telling me to stop? Is that what it's saying? Stop. No, stop, 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 stop.
Good.
It said good. I did something right. Stop at the station.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's like Densha to Go, isn't it? That it's basically a kiddie version of the more serious train simulators. Managing your speed, stopping in time. Probably knowing what the buttons are as well.
No.
I don't know how you stop in time though.
Excuse me.
So, I should probably, shouldn't I? But you have got to see some cows in this game, and it was apparently Moo Moo Mountain. So that's telling me to do the horn, I guess. I don't know what the other one's telling me. I still don't know what the other buttons are. I suppose doing the controls as analog might help too, because I've got them on digital at the moment, which might be affecting my ability to actually stop.
Excuse me. No.
So I wanted to stop. Video games taught you to speed up when you... I wanted to jump it, Mo. Oh. Yeah, that's what you meant by dangerously. Never mind.
Excuse me.
Apparently I'm no better at driving a train than I am at driving a car. Are you one of the people who's picked up that Densha to Go plug and play? But I think Claude picked up one of those, and then they suddenly ended up being about $200, $300, something stupid. Although they do have the same technology in them as the NES Mini. They're sort of a fairly decent ARM system on a chip. Well, you know, decent for plug and play. But clearly, I think I need the speed control on the dial, because at the moment... The problem is I try and slow down and end up speeding up. I don't quite get it.
Excuse me.
It could just be the controls aren't mapped very well. letting go of the control. Yeah, pressing left ends up speeding him up a little bit too. I don't quite get that. I don't quite get how the controls are working here. Because I pressed left, which to me would reduce the speed. It momentarily speeds you up instead. So there could be an emulation issue here.
Excuse me.
You mean the crash into the cow? It's because I don't quite understand the controls. And they might be a little bit buggy. Also, though, I don't see any cows on this part of the track. Okay, I'm going to reset and go back to the cow track. Because this is the cow stream. Yeah, I worked out the horn graphic is hit horn. That bit I did work out. So what does it say my other two buttons are?
Excuse me.
But yeah, I think you need a dial for the speed on this,
Excuse me.
not the keyboard. Because if you let go of the key slightly, you lose most of your speed, but not enough to stop at the station. I'll pause it next time, because it might actually help.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I can't stop in time. Cows.
Excuse me.
No, stop.
Good.
There we go. I don't think it's track and field. I don't think I have to, hammer the buttons. What do they say? Oh, no, that's just left and right, isn't it? Or is that all they do? Because this is choose your track. I know what this is. This is choose your route. Maybe that's all those buttons do. Or did they not? I don't know. I went the same way again. So yeah, what are my buttons? If you can translate these, Bob. And am I meant to be able to reverse or just go forward? I don't quite get it. The speed lever, which has just got increase decrease, is mapped to analog. Then there's the start button, which is also the horn. But then you've got button 1 and button 2, which I'm assuming are the yellow buttons. Unless they just choose track left or right. I don't know. I don't quite get it. I picked the Junior Sonic train. Excellent. Oh, it's just course select. So they have no other purpose apart from on the course select part. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, it's just the speed lever then. There's no brake buttons, just the speed lever. And for some reason, sometimes when I move it in one direction, it seems to speed up when I'd expect it to slow down. So it might be my own doing. Anyway, I think we'll move on from that. Personally, I think that does have the potential to be a duel if I know how to play it. You can play it in an emulator, cow. Snatcher, the Sega CD version. Yeah, so thank you for the translation, Bob. Clearly, maybe if I mapped the speed control to something else, it would have worked better. I'm not sure. Maybe map it to an analog stick. Average, interesting game. Yeah, maybe an auto center disable would help too, fellow Jasper. I might have to come back to that one another time. Yes, Pi Racy. Left and right. That makes sense because there was the split in the track where it flashed up the buttons as well. So yeah, I guess that's it. It's a very simple to control game. But do we think it is a duel, a junk, or a just average game? Kiddie version of DGG, Adventure to Go. So duel, yeah. I personally think it is probably a duel. Aussie guy thinks average though. Big Winner thinks average. So we've got Mose and Muel. Stevens and average. Oh, we're splitting. We're splitting averages and duels here. I guess you learn it if you just learn it by trial and error as well, Bob. I mean, it does seem to be for kids, so I think they're probably more averages here. But Densha to Go doesn't have cows. Does this mean it gets a duel over Densha to Go? Maybe Densha to Go does have cows. I don't know. I've not played it enough. I guess it's going to go in average though. We've got a lot of averages again today. Okay, attack play rail. I thought we'd get more junks today, but maybe I've just been looking at the good games. It doesn't. There are no cows in Densha to Go. Well, there you go. That is one thing Attack Play Rail has. Yeah, it probably. It's a game that interests me. Yeah. Probably just have to go average, if any, nothing more than the language barrier, which is a bit of a problem for anybody not knowing Japanese. Let's go with the one Phil Bennett suggested, which is Double Dragon 2. Now, I have to get to mission 3 on this to get to the cows. So bear with me. This may take a while. Now, obviously, it's a sequel to Double Dragon. I'm terrible at it. What are my keys? Yeah, you've got your attack left, attack right. Okay. Is this one on your list, Custado? But yeah, you'll see just how bad I am at Double Dragon. As in, really bad. As in, it's never a game I really play, so I have no strategy for it. So this has cows in the background once you get to level 3, so I thought we'd have a little look at it and see if I can get to level 3. I should have really put cheat on or something. Too close. There are some cows in the background in this game. They're not really interactive cows, but they are cows nonetheless. And you know, I fancied a bit of variety. Does your list include bulls as well as cows? Tell you what, let's remap the controls. I get a flying kick doing that, do I? Or elbow. Or both. I don't know. Yeah, I've never been good at Double Dragon. It's a good job I'm not actually paying money to play it, to be honest. It does. Is Heated Barrel on your list then? Because Heated Barrel contains a bull. It's not on your list. Okay. Heated Barrel is one I may play in a bit. We've not even played any final lap yet. That doesn't contain cows though, but you know, if cow does request a final lap game, we will end up playing a final lap game. Because we have to appreciate the cow in the chat too. The ZX Spectrum game that's on your list features a bull. The only ZX Spectrum game on my list is Fantasy World Dizzy, which we may not get time to play. You want to see the final lap 2 and 3 fixes? Okay, we'll have a look at those in a little bit. No, a Spectrum game with a bull in? I'm trying to think. Is it a Spanish game? I can't think of a Spectrum game with a bull in off the top of my head. We are 2 hours 39 into the stream. And I'm getting my arse handed to me. Bullseye is... I don't think... I can't bullseye. It's a graphic of a bull that's... I don't know. You are actually counting bullseye. Fair enough. I did think about bullseye. I mean, I guess bully is based on a bull, hence the name. And, it would have been a bit different as well, darts game. Does it actually feature bully in any capacity? According to a bovine viewer, you've not missed much yet. He's on the loading screen. Alright. It wasn't on my list, so... I mean, this... I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to round 3 on this. Unfortunately, I looked at the video, it's like, after 10 minutes you'll be on round 3. But that was somebody who could play the game. As a pro, you know, whereas with me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to just die repeatedly. Let's have a look at... I mean, there's the redemption game, Go Go Cowboy, which is kind of on my list of things to maybe look at. So technically bully is there in some capacity. Dear. Yeah, I've never got on with Double Dragon. The back kick is better against the boss. Indeed it is. So if you get too close. You still have a shooter on your list. Ibarra has cows in it on the second stage. If we're talking about another cave game. Yeah, 1943 has some cow bonus pickups, doesn't it? Although I'm not sure I'm good enough to trigger them. It's a Konami title. Konami shooter with cows in. Konami shooter with cows in. Ajax? I don't know. Is that a cows in? That's a very random guess. I'm probably just being thick then. Or just not aware of the cows in the game. The other shooter that was on my list, which I played before, was Harmful Park, because it's got the cow train. But that, again, that one's quite far into the game, so probably not going to have time to look at Harmful Park, sadly. Because this is my got to get to level 3 game already. Is it one of the Parodius games? I can imagine they have cows in somewhere. Technos never knew how to code. You get to the WWF games and they're still as badly coded as this on a 68K. Sexy Parodius. I figured it might be when you said Konami shooter, because I'm thinking what game's going to have everything in it, and yeah, that's not on my list. Nobody suggested that as a game with a cow in it, unfortunately. Otherwise I would have put it on my list. I'm guessing Twinbee Yahoo doesn't have a cow in it, because otherwise I could have looked at the newly dumped set of that, the English set called Magical Twinbee, which is again one of those sets that I don't think anybody knew existed until it showed up. Everything slows the game down. But ball physics, they must be really advanced. Not the simplest type of collisions you could possibly have. Yeah, I think as soon as there's more than 4 sprites on the screen, it just runs badly. Yes, Double Dragon is famous for the slowdowns, and yeah, it's kind of inexcusable, but hey, at least it's not Double Dragon 3. There's a slow down already, because, you know, there's sprites and an animated conveyor belt. Which, all this just to get to some cow pictures on level 3. Maybe I should have put cheats on. Wrong way. Yeah, kick you from behind. It does take a bit getting used to the controls as well, because this... oh dear. This is the game with the 2 different directions to punch. So, if you know, the punch direction is always the button direction, but it's a kick or a punch depending on the way you're facing, which is something that, you know, Double Dragon is known for. But if you've not played it in a while, it takes a bit of getting used to it. Oh. Big boss slows the game down. The unexpected sequel. Are any sequels unexpected? I can think of unwanted sequels like Spy Hunter 2. Unexpected sequels? I guess Sengoku 3 was an unexpected sequel. But it doesn't seem like a game that'd have a cow in it. I thought Where's Wally might have a cow in it, but I couldn't find any cows. I could find Wally, but no cows. Again, maybe I just didn't look for the cows. Yes, here's Arnold, not Arnie. Unexpected and unwanted. Rolling Thunder 3? That's a potential one for my Namco stream. Well, I don't think that was unwanted. I think people quite like Rolling Thunder 3. The sprite's the one that became Andre the Giant, or Andore, is it? Yeah, I think the WWF game was probably based around the same engine as this. Just ported to a 68K. The sequel is not exactly an arcade game. A Wonder Boy game? No, again, they're not really unwanted. The Wonder Boy sequels are pretty good. Bet you've never seen Double Dragon played this badly, have you? Well, first I have to get him onto the conveyor. That would be the challenge. Right, round 3. This came before DD3. Oh, you're talking about WWF WrestleFest and Double Dragon 3 hardware, quite similar. Superstars, though, feels kind of like this, but with a ring. And this so, the screen is turned off. This is absolutely not worth it for the nature of the cows in this level, by the way. But we had to do one where it's a way in. Yeah, this game is just drag on. At least, if you're not good at it, which I'm not. And yeah, it doesn't seem to change much over the original Double Dragon, from what I can tell. I don't know how they messed up the Mega Drive port of this so badly, though. That's an awful port. There is a cow on this. Look, there's a cow up there. On the yellow stone. It's pointing us to the cows. Now, somebody did comment on the post I made that having a cow in a game is meant to be good luck. So I don't know if that's true, if that's a Japanese thing. Apparently having a cow in your game is good luck. Yes, Mesa has been played, John. Sunset Riders hasn't been played yet. Barnyard for the Game Boy Advance hasn't been played yet, and that has very prominent cows. But I don't think we're going to get time for some of these. Because this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But we have had a cow on the screen for a while now. So what was the Mega Drive game, Costado? Because I'm out of guesses. Oh, Pac-Man 2. Pac-Man 2 is on the list, actually. It's so obvious now you say it, but yeah, Pac-Man 2 is on my list. I put down the SNES version, actually, because for some reason, on our Mega Drive emulation, the sound in the intro doesn't play. I don't know why. Probably a sync issue between the CPUs. I did notice that, even before Aaron's rewrite, the sound in the intro on Pac-Man 2 on our Mega Drive emulation doesn't work. Which is an unusual bug, because most of the Mega Drive games, the audio is fine. But that one is not. Now, there are more cows. Earthworm Jim, yeah, that's on my list. I've not played it yet. I mean, that is one of the obvious ones that is probably not going to fit in the stream because of this thing. Yeah, I should have cheated. I looked at somebody else playing this game, and they got to this section in about 10 minutes, and I thought, yeah, that's fine, but I didn't take into account the fact I can't play Double Dragon. Got to keep going. But we are in a field. There's corn. So yeah, farm machinery. New Mr. Do. That's definitely a 90s reimagining of an arcade classic. But I don't know if it has cows in it. Not New Mr. Do. Not the Neo Geo version of this. A shooting game. Well, I know Under Defeat does, but that's Naomi, and that's not really a reimagining of anything. Insert a coin. Trying to think. There we go. Look, here are your cows. This is what we played this game for. A field of cows that kind of have dog heads, but they're cows. Vertical shooter. So it's a reimagining, a sequel of a vertical shooter that's... Yep, here are your cows. And they do moo. We should get... If they didn't moo, I would have given up earlier. But they moo. So you're now fighting in front of a field. An audience of mooing cows. Yeah, they animated and they moo. They don't seem too bothered about the fight, but there we go. This is the entire reason I played this game, because Phil mentioned it had cows in it, and here are the cows. And now I think we can die in peace. So there we go. Don't think it's going to be on my list. Yes. Anyway, Double Dragon 2. Where do we put it? I don't think it innovates enough. It probably wasn't worth it, but it's a cow stream. We've got to have some difficult to obtain cows. It's okay. It's probably another average one, isn't it? We're probably going to piling up the averages with this again. It needed to do more over Double Dragon, and it's just more of Double Dragon. Oh, Super Space Invaders 91. Yeah, that is on my list. That one is on my list. I never really thought of it as a re-imaging. I think that's what threw me off. It's its own game. But yeah, that is on my list. I was thinking of scrolling shooters. Yeah, that is true. Why change a formula that works? But they've not improved the program. It's still full of slowdowns. I don't know. The original you can consider to be a jewel, even over the technical problems. I would have thought by the time Double Dragon 2 came out, they should have really fixed it up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's another average one, isn't it? You wouldn't mind if your arcade had it instead of Double Dragon 1. It's like a few more levels for Double Dragon 1, but... I think that's the problem. It's not worthy of being called a sequel. In the sense, it's really doing nothing on top of the basic game. Should we put that in average? Unless you play it for the cows. Well, that is the only reason we played it, for the cows. We are over 3 hours now, so bonus time. Yeah, an expansion pack. I'm going to put it in average. So yeah, it's difficult to say anything better about it. You're off to bed. All right, Costado. Take care and thank you for being here. It's always good to see you. Right. Okay, I do want to play Super Space Invaders in a bit. But I also definitely want to play... This is also going to end up in average. I know it is. But... Super Skidmarks for the Mega Drive. Because you've got cows there. Unfortunately, I did want to play the Amiga version, but the Amiga version, the graphics are completely messed up. Options, password. If you enter the password, chock, milk, and then you get the bovine warrior mode. There's your cow in sunglasses. Now, this colours the course green because it's now grass, and you control the cow. And your horn appears to be... Well, you've got... It moves. Your horn's still a beat, but your cows are moving the whole time. Unfortunately, as I said before, the Mega Drive version of this feels like a big downgrade from the Amiga version. I mean, the game's called Skidmarks, and on the Mega Drive version, there's no actual deforming of the track or anything. You know, it doesn't actually leave any skid marks anywhere, so it doesn't feel like a very appropriately named game on the Mega Drive. And the graphics generally look worse. It's still playable, and it's still got the cows. It doesn't have the caravan mode where you're towing a caravan. which is another fun feature on the Amiga. And the physics seem a bit off compared to the Amiga, maybe. And I'm not always keen on this dithering look, although I think the Amiga is similar. Look better on a real CRT, but there we go. Dallas Quest on C64 has cows on it. That was not on my list. Sunglasses, bobble-proof +1. Yes, they're not ninjas with sunglasses, but they're cows with sunglasses. And so this is, say, our second racing game where you do get to play as a cow. My cow is called Putrid. Race 2, Anti-Fusion. Didn't even get to have another look at Pirates with the cow walking across the screen. I do want to play Super Space Invaders before I close the stream out, so there will be a bit more to it. Yeah, you can't go the wrong way in this either. There are invisible walls if you try. Yeah, it's a super sprint type game. I know the Amiga version of this is a duel. Absolutely. But so I can't play that one. And it looks, I mean, it looks like every line is misaligned. Like it doesn't even understand how wide the screen is, which is really quite bad. I also wanted to have a look at Cow Wars on the Amiga, a PD game done in Amos. But the only discs I can find of it, which is the Amiga Power cover disc and a standalone disc, have broken graphics, like it uses the wrong font, because if you bring up the menu, it corrupts the playfield, but it does that not just on MAME but on any other emulator, so I don't know if every copy of that game out there is bad, because I couldn't imagine the programmer would have shipped it like that. I'd say Fantasy World Dizzy has got cows in it. I might look at that briefly. But yeah, we've gone over the 3-hour mark, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's one of those isometric type view racing games. Obviously, very super off-road like too. That's what I was always reminded of more so than RC Pro. But the tracks are a bit flatter than super off-road, but you do have the bumps. But I say I love the Amiga version because you can make your own cars in Imagine and leave, render them overnight with your 3D models. You can have cows pulling caravans, and it had better graphics as well because you could put the AGA mode on and have, I think, 16 colour sprites instead of 4 colours or whatever they are. No, wrong way. Yeah, I believe on the Amiga these games were done in Blitz Basic. I guess the Mega Drive version would have been recoded from scratch. Happy 80th first birthday to Captain Picard and happy 79th birthday to Indiana Jones. Neither of them are cows, but I'm sure the cows don't mind sharing their Cow Appreciation Day with those two very famous stars of their respective shows. Yeah, some cows on wheels. There's fun to be had in this game. And it does support 4 players, so if you've got... well, in fact, you didn't need the multi-tap, did you? This was one of the so-called JAKKS, where the 2 extra control connectors on the cartridge which to me strikes me as a bit risky because, you know, you've only got a jolt a Mega Drive cartridge and you often reset the game. And so if anybody tugged on the controller, it'd probably end the race quite abruptly. But I suppose it was a pretty neat idea in terms of how to add your expansion ports. Oh, I won another race. Are there enough games with Harrison Ford? Yes, there probably are. Virtual Formula. Okay, so we looked at Super Skidmarks. Plenty of cows, but where do we rate the game? Yeah, the Amiga one of that did support 4 players with the extra pads and straight into the cartridge. Yeah, it's smooth. It's just a visual downgrade and a feature downgrade over the Amiga version. So I don't know where to put it. I kind of, if I hadn't played the Amiga version, I'd probably appreciate that one a lot more. But so let's, while we're deciding, fire up Virtual Formula. Decent, okay. I did this last time. I always do this. I wish Virtual Fighter was not VF because I did that the same last time. There we go. Virtual Formula. Because Virtual Racing is VR. Yeah. So you think Virtual Form would be VF, but then Virtual Fighter's VF. I think these Model 1 games need renaming on the sets, to be honest. But yes, they're the cows in the Virtual Formula. Decent, okay. Okay, I think we're going to put it under average again. The 32X version, yes. The 32X version unfortunately doesn't run in MAME. It crashes when you try and start the game. Super Skidmarks goes down there anyway, under the average. We've got a lot of average. We've only got 1 junk and 4 jewels from the stream. We've got a lot of average. So, Virtua Formula, which is, say, a slightly different version of Virtua Racing. With cows in the track mode. Now, from memory, the cows are part of this last track. Not a cow. Unless the cows don't appear on the fire. You can change the camera back. Yeah, where are the cows? Are they only in the track? Am I on the wrong course? I don't know why the screen wobbles a bit. It might just be early 3D engine, it might be an error in the 2GP emulation or the 2GP ROM dump. I'm not sure. cows are like... There are cows in the track mode, but I don't know if they're in the game at all. So I really don't see them in the game. Yeah, Virtual Racing or Virtual Formula holds up really well. The graphics, while they're flat shaded, they never seem to lack detail. They still look, you know, they look good. The road's got good markings, and considering it's all flat shaded 3D, I think this is one of, you know, the best things Sega did. They've got textured games that look worse than this. Yeah, the Switch version is pretty good looking. You can see why they were keen to get this on the Mega Drive, even though that SVP version is quite significantly... so close. Glorious untextured polygons.
ボタンでシートを調整してください。
No, how do we...
コースを選んでアクセルを踏んでください。
Let's go with Bay Bridge. There's the cow. No, that's the cows on this track. There you go. There's some cows. I was briefly chasing them. We just had the wrong track for the cows. For some reason in my notes it said the third track had the cows when it's in fact the middle track. I was told in Off-Road Challenge the cows can become roadkill. Also, I couldn't find any cows. You can put Off-Road Challenge on in a bit, but I couldn't see the cows. I just wanted to go and pay them a visit, okay? It doesn't want me to chase the cows. Cows so powerful at no failure. They're God mode cows. And they keep out the way of the cars, so they're quite intelligent cows too. You know, they do not let me run them over. Virtual Formula. I think that one's a duel, isn't it? Virtual Racing, Virtual Formula. Good night, Big Winner. Take care. Thank you for being here. But yeah, shall we be putting a Virtual Formula in duels? I think it's difficult to argue otherwise, isn't it? No cow abuse. No, we can't abuse the cows. They keep out the way. Yes, Virtual Formula can go on our duel list. I think Bob agrees. Any virtual game is a duel. So Virtual Formula Goes up there. Right. Now, as I said, I was told Off-Road Challenge has cows. But we'll have a look. Oh, it's on pad, isn't it?
Choose a track. Choose transmission. Manual. Choose a track.
Again, unless I've been told the wrong track. There are things that run across the road. See, that's not a cow, is it? Is that... To me, that didn't look like a cow, but maybe that is the cow. Or was the cow. You know, you might have to clip that and go and see if that was a cow. But that's definitely not a cow. That's not a cow. But if I just ran over some cows, I do apologise. But I wasn't sure they were cows. I don't think there are any other cows. But yeah, it's basically like cruising, but with this type of vehicle. Off-road type vehicles. Oh no, I've got it on a... Yeah, I've got it on manual gears and don't have the gears mapped. That's good. Schools are maybe ex-cows, but you know, maybe some cows would live there, but still not a cow. I came in 8th.
You almost had him.
You placed 7th. Let's race again.
So yeah, I don't know. We can have another look and see if we can get a closer look.
A track.
Problem is, if you don't get to them quickly, other people do. No, they're not cows. They're surely not cows. Sorry, I was told there were cows in this and I can't find the cows. I think they're giant dogs of some sort. If you want to rate that somewhere, let me know. Otherwise, I think that one's just average. Yeah, we're not doing Cruising USA. It's a bit too similar, and I want to get one game out of the way. We're over 3 hours now, so we're kind of limited of time. And I think there is a must-play game that we've not played. You think it's a duel, Big Winner? Okay. So if any other votes want to come in for Off-Road Challenge, that's what it's called, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to get on with playing Super Space Invaders. I can't really do DDR on stream, Robert, because the music causes problems with YouTube. Any kind of musical game I have to be very, very careful about. And Konami music usually instantly gets flagged, and that'll mute the stream for a lot of people. And not really what I want to be doing. Twitch, you can get away with it a little bit as long as you don't keep the VODs up, but even Twitch are getting quite strict about things these days. High average, lower dual. Okay. Okay, so maybe Off-Road Challenge does get dual status, because that's two people have mentioned dual. And higher average. Now this does take a while to get to the mutilation stage. But, it is one of the famous games with cows, because cows were featured so prominently in the advertising. Another game with cows, which unfortunately I couldn't play, is Worms the Director's Cut, which is an Amiga release again, which adds cows. Okay, so I think maybe I should put Off-Road Challenge in a dual then, because people are saying higher average. And a dual. Wide invade. They are wide invaders, aren't they? Very wide invaders. Yes. This isn't that useful. Skybase. They're kind of handy. I get a different formation. I mean, you find the same even with like BBH's streams. He doesn't really do the DDR stuff on YouTube. I mean, he does his streams on Twitch anyway, but a lot of the time the YouTube ones don't get the DDR games; they get cut out because YouTube are really funny about that type of thing. When it sounds badly emulated, like some of the Zavik stuff or those plug and play guitar games where the sound's just bad MIDI recreations, you usually get away with it because it just say cover song. But if it's just literally the actual music in MP3 format, which a lot of the Konami ones are, it usually gets instant muted. They pick it up straight away. I always forget how far you have to play these games to get the cow scenes. Any way you can support financially? I don't even know who's actually collecting any kind of money at the moment. I mean, there's funds are always needed for buying boards, but a lot of the boards that are available these days aren't that interesting, and I don't know. I mean, I only asked for, any donations to cover the streams, not the MAME work, because I don't really want to be paid for doing MAME. Here we go, here is cattle mutilation. The row of cows along the bottom, and we must defend them from the UFOs. So this is your defending the cow section. Famous... Oh, give me my cow back. Oh, dear. I shot the cow. There's cows that are going a bit hyper down there. I mean, they're probably understandable. The aliens trying to abduct them, but... The cow said thank you because I rescued that one. Yes, ouch. Sorry, that happened last time as well, didn't it, cow? Hey, only one cow was shot. And in fact, I don't think they managed to capture any cows. I think I just shot one of them, unfortunately. Did my best. I did promise that I couldn't Protect every cow. So anyway, we've seen the cattle mutilation thing. So off-road challenge goes in dual. Surprisingly, but it was edging that way. Where does Super Space Invaders go? Hey main fan, welcome back. The stream's not going to be going on much longer, but welcome back. I hope all is well with you and baby. Super Space Invaders Duel. Yeah, it's a well done game. It's a nice sequel, isn't it? So Super Space Invaders, yeah. Invaders. I know what. Super Space Invaders. I can't even write. Super Space Invaders and Off-Road Challenge go up there with the duels. Right, okay. Okay, a game from my childhood now. Tape loading noises incoming, cover your ears, etc. For the ZX Spectrum, this is the Codemasters Oliver Twins game, Fantasy World Dizzy, the third Dizzy game. And not the only one to feature a cow, because the cow would return in Fantastic Dizzy, which kind of is a bit of a mix of the best parts of every Dizzy game.
Dizzy!
The MD Proto is Fantastic Dizzy, which is the game that takes elements of all the other Dizzy games. I had Fantastic Dizzy on the Master System, which is my favourite version. I don't like the Mega Drive version as much. The Proto of it is an earlier build. Yeah, the speech there was probably a bit too fast because MAME doesn't emulate the wait states on the accessors. Anyway, let's escape here. Water. Yeah, it's clear, it's just a little bit too fast, I think. So the pitch is slightly off too, maybe. I don't know, I think it's a bit wrong. Let's leave the boulder here. Now I'm just going to quick track to the cow. There's a boulder there, just for reference. Not time. Nope. Nope, too low. Too low. You have to time it right. I missed my chance at the very start, unfortunately. That wasn't clever. There we go. Bag lets me hold more. That was a dragon, Bob. That was a dragon. Fire-breathing dragon. You do put the dragon to sleep with the sleeping potion. You can... If you go the left way first, you can just get the sleeping potion and put the dragon to sleep. I'm just doing it the hard way. To get to the beautiful cow. Look, here is our cow. In a smelly allotment. We can pick the cow up, and I now have a cute pygmy cow. Don't try and pick up the manure. There is Dylan. Have a chat with Dylan. Yeah. What is a key? Shall we chuck the cow in the volcano? Cow doesn't want to go in the volcano. Okay, come with us, cow. We can go on a cow adventure. Want some wet feet? Yeah, wash the cow. I didn't land in the tree. There's lots of hidden coins in this too, unfortunately. You have to pick up bits of fence and leaves, which is probably the most annoying thing about the game. I can use this key here, can't I? Yeah. Oh, there's a lift down here. Don't want to be in the lift, do you, cow? No, you don't want to be in the lift. You powdered the music. I don't know. I don't think I've heard the C64 music. Is it similar but obviously on a SID chip? Or is it a completely different piece of music? Anyway, say we've got a cow. I mean, you give the cow to a shopkeeper. Let's leave the cow here for now. See if we can get past the... No. Okay, we just died to the dragon. Never mind. Anyway, that had a little cow in it. Say the cow does make a return in Fantastic Dizzy. Don't think we've really got time to look at Fantastic Dizzy because we are over 3.5 hours now, and that really does mean it's about time to wrap up the stream. I think I'll do one last game, and that's just because it's a famous example of cows. See if it one's different. So, I mean, I know that was one of my favourite games. It's a classic and a gem, yeah, big winner. It's not too big. It's very, it's one of the games you can easily complete in a fairly short amount of time, once you know what you're doing. Everything about it seems to be fair, apart from, the coin hunt, but once you know where they are, you know where they are. Yeah, it's a good one. So I think that one's probably going to go in duel. But this is, obviously now we're on Raiden quickly. I mean, the cow's another start of this one, so this is a quick demo. But here we go. Here are our cows. There's a single cow. I don't think that's a cow. We do see a few more. Follow me. And here are the rest of the cows. And I love the way that they're walking around. They're animated, They're not just static cows, they're animated cows. And they're different coloured cows. And it's just a lovely field of cows. There you go. So those are the cows in Raiden. Some of the most famous cows in the shooter. I think possibly the reason Ibarra's got cow on the second level is kind of, a reference to this. And there's another little cow there. So yeah, let's put Fantasy World Dizzy in duel while I remember. They have 2 frames of animation, but it's 2 more frames of animation than things that don't have any animation. Now you'll all be glad to know this means you've been spared some really bad plug and play games, which may end up in one of the bonus streams or one of the miscellaneous game streams. I picked out like 3 or 4 more plug and play games with cows in, but just didn't get around to them, did we? So yeah, we're ending on this game. You've seen the cow in it now, the cows in it with that animation. And I didn't try and bomb them. I respected the cows, I looked after them. Took away these nasty tanks and enemies that are invading their fields. So I believe I have been a protector of the cows. And You know, Cow Appreciation Day is almost over here too. It's 11:30. Of course, I'm sure it's Cow Appreciation Day in other parts of the world too. Yes. Now, as we're not going to be spending long on this one, I'll ask people already. I mean, I think most of you know Raiden. It's one of the famous shooters. It's one of the influential shooters. It's one of the ones that, you know, everybody wanted to copy. Some more blatantly than others. I mean, we've looked at Double Wing in the past where it's just like, yeah, let's try and copy the mechanics exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's why the cows stand out. They're animated when the rest of the background isn't. Somebody clearly wanted those animated cows. And, I mean, Raiden 2's got loads of debut flying around everywhere, and it's got destructible backgrounds. But in terms of the original Raiden, those cows got special treatment. And it makes them stand out. Makes them special cows. I'm usually a bit better at this game than this. But anyway, we know what Raiden is. Big Winner thinks Raiden is average. Okay. Yeah, everybody was influencing each other then, but Raiden, I think, stands out as getting the formula right. But the only vote we have for Raiden is average from Big Winner. I mean, I'd say Jewel. We've got Jewel from Bob, Jewel from Bo. That's more like it. So we've got 3 Jewels on Raiden and an average from Big Winner. Anybody else have an opinion on Raiden? Because the stream must end fairly soon. Jewel. Obvious gem. Jewel, yeah, okay. Muel. Yeah, Muel. Sorry, I've not been using the Muel and Mook and just Bovine or... Big Winner as well? Big Winner. You're not a big fan of Raiden then, Big Winner, but I think most people here do like a bit of Raiden. Oh, yes. Yes. We can't really end without that, can we, Cow? We can't really end without that. There are no cows in this game, but Cow has requested final lap. Now, about a week ago, I did fix a bug in final lap. If you played it before, you'll notice on final lap 2 and 3, there were lots of objects popping up after you went past them with over zoom sprites. Now that doesn't happen. Now you can pass the trees and they will smoothly go behind the camera and all is good. So yes, I have fixed another bug in final lap. This was a very simple bug fix, in fact. This was just adding an extra bit to the X coordinate, because for some reason it keeps the sprites in the sprite list far longer than it needs to, and they zoom to a massive proportions, but the whole time the X coordinate is increasing and it moves them to a value that was bigger than the value we were using from the sprite RAM. So instead of being massively off the screen to the right, they wrap back around to the middle of the screen, and therefore you saw big bad overzoom sprites, and they're now gone. They're still in the sprite list, but they are not polluting our screen after we drive past things. Final Lap 3 has benefited from the same change. So yeah, the Final Lap emulation is getting closer to correct. Thank you, Stephen. I mean, like I say, they're not games I'm a huge fan of, although I'm learning to appreciate them a bit more now, having, played them that much. So close to even doing it here. Look, if I hadn't crashed there, I might have actually finished this track. Ah, dear. Yeah, so, yeah, again, this will be in the next version of MAME, the fix for this one. We still need to look at Final Lap R. I mean, Ryan was looking at Final Lap R earlier. I don't think he's found why there were missing sprites in that yet, but that's entirely different hardware and an entirely different problem. I mean, part of looking at that is also related to looking at Model 2, because Model 2 uses the same CPU as the Namco FL hardware that Final Lap R runs on, and we suspect there are still CPU bugs there. So, yeah. That maybe at some point I'll have Final Lap R news too, but at the moment this fix is for the Namco System 2 Final Lap games. Yeah, it does look much better without big sprites jumping all over the place. Now, I'm not going to ask people to rate these as dual or junk. You can if you want, but I'm not going to ask for any rating on them. There we go. On lap 3. Yeah, sadly no cows. I mean, I think Namco missed a trick. Roadside cows would have been good. Oh dear. There was another game with roadside cows that I failed to cover, and that was Road Rash. I was going to have a look at the cows in Road Rash, but there wasn't time. Final lap. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got enough time to do the final lap. A final lap 2. One crash in this and you are in trouble, really. That is just the nature of the game. Yeah, no time to do this. That crash cost me. Suzuka 8 Hours 1 is a bit better. Suzuka 8 Hours 2 isn't. For some reason, Suzuka 8 Hours 2 is still trying to draw a partial spriteless, which is causing lots of glitching. And I'm not really sure why. It's quite an odd one. There's a Final Lap reference in Final Lap. So, yeah, we can have a look at Final Lap 3 too while we're at it, because it benefits from the same fix. But yeah, this is bonus overtime, more so than cow appreciation. Although we do appreciate the cow who requests this, so control setting. Let's try again.
Dan Marino.
Bad start because my wheel wasn't centered. Yeah, if your wheel's not centered, you're not going to start. But again, you see, the graphics aren't popping up behind the camera. This one's trickier. You can only move forward if the steering wheel is centered. I'm playing on a mouse, so I can't tell if the steering wheel is centered or not. Now, the graphics do still jump around a bit, but that does happen on the PCB. They don't move smoothly even on a PCB, so that's never going to improve. That's just how the games are. It is unfortunate, but I guess that's the best they could program. I think I picked the trickiest course here. This one's just full of winding bends. Obviously both junk, Bob. I think there's going to be a Bob versus cow war if we're not careful. This track is very tricky. Now, Final Lap 1 didn't really suffer from the same issue in the first place. It clips the sprites out the sprite this much earlier. So that's not really changed much, because that didn't have the problem in the first place. At least not to any major extent. Yeah, Tatsumi sprite positioning is very similar, isn't it? Very sudden curves and very jumpy sprites. It's just what happens sometimes. Most racing games don't control too well with a stick or pad. I'm using the mouse on that, so... Can I play Rhythm Tengoku? Isn't that a Naomi one? Which again means I can't really play it properly. I don't think it runs in MAME, big winner. Anyway. I'm not going to categorize any of the Final Lap games in this stream because this was just bonus content. So I think Cow probably makes them jewels, and if Cow wants them to be jewels, we can say they were jewels because it is a Cow appreciation stream. So Cow, where are we putting the Final Lap games? Your vote and only your vote matters for the Final Lap games as we conclude the Cow appreciation stream. They are jewels, are they? So, yes. Are they going to be jewels in different colours? Are they going to be orange jewels? And John F. Kennedy is also... Yeah, around Europe. John F. Kennedy... No, John F. Kennedy. John F. Donnelly. I'm naming you after presidents now. John F. Donnelly repeats jewel. Two and final. Oh yeah, and we need to put Fantasy World Dizzy up there too, don't we? Oh, we did. Sorry. Yeah. My organisation is quite bad. So the Final Lap games go up there in orange. You know, we can, in fact, since we're done with the stream now, we can big video this, and there you go, you see. Final Lap 2 and 3. So those are your jewels for this stream. Overdrive, Fantasy World Dizzy, Deathsmiles, Raiden, Hard Driving Arcade, Cowboys and Mesa, Final Lap 2 and 3, Virtual Formula, Off-Road Challenge, Super Space Invaders. The junk was the Dora Nursery Rhyme Adventure. And we had a few average ones. We had the Disney Game It Classic Powers, the Genesis Hard Driving, Lasso, Stampede on the 2600, CyberSpeed on the PlayStation, Double Dragon 2 Arcade, Perfect Dark on the Game Boy Color, which we couldn't really judge it, Super Skidmarks on the Mega Drive because it's just not as good as the Amiga version, and Attack Play Rail, which is probably pretty good, but very Japanese, and we didn't really know what we were doing. So that is your Cow Appreciation stream. I hope you have all enjoyed it, and again, we really do appreciate cows, and we appreciate Cow being here, and you know, Cow's enthusiasm for the Final Lap games. So, yeah, lots of games say Final Lap as the Final Lap, especially the Konami ones. We found that before. If the voices were emulated. Yes, the MAME sound emulation is terrible on that, though, unfortunately. So we didn't even get the gunshots. And I think it's probably a good game, but I need to play it more. And from the what we saw on the stream, it's sort of just average. I think if I had a Game Boy, I'd probably want to play it. But anyway, a stream for every 30 viewers. I don't know. I don't know how many viewers we've got. Probably not that many at the moment because this has been going on for a while. So yeah, we've got about 30 at the moment, in fact. Yeah, so not bad actually for ending the stream on 30 viewers. All right. Yeah, the ogre. I'm just finishing off now. Please ignore the mistake I made again of firing up Virtua Fighter instead of Virtua Formula because I did that last time as well. And I did close it very quickly. So that doesn't need to be in the list because we weren't playing that. We weren't judging that. because I know you do the tagging of the timestamps, and that is always appreciated. And I think everybody who is going to be watching this on catch up and just maybe want to skip over certain games will really appreciate that. But yes, thank you everybody, and I will see you next time. So I don't think there's anything else to say. So yes, moo. And yeah, if I'm still doing these streams this time next year, we may have to have another cow appreciation stream. No, you can put Final Lap under Jewel. It's okay. Everybody did vote them as Jules. All right. Goodbye. Good night. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.